Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a
chase dreams, I'll chase money. It's so funny, nothing you can take from me. I chase dreams, I'll chase money. I go dummy, everybody hate to love me. Why? I chase dreams, I'll chase money. It's so funny, nothing you can take from me. One deep, like sweet, like honey. I go dummy, everybody hate to love me.
You talk big, but your wallet's thin. Claim you're winning while I cash it in. Your schemes are weak, your pitch is lame. I'm stacking gold, you're playing games. I'm getting paid while you're just scammers. Swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Flashing your lies like neon glamours. But I see through your cheapo banners. You sell the moon, but can't pay rent. Your big ideas just came and went. I'm counting checks while you pretend. Your pyramids crumble in my climb will end. I'm getting paid while you're just scammers. Swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Flashing your lies like neon glamours. But I see through your cheapo banners. You hustle air, I breathe success. Your phony tricks are such a mess. I'll toast to wins, you fake distress. Your con's exposed, no second guess. Your empire's built on plastic pride, but truth's a wave you can't outride. I'm stacking real while you divide. The house of cards where you reside. You'll beg for mercy from coast to coast, saying where's that villain we hate the most. I'm masked up and on the attack. Verbal walk-bys filled with facts. Yeah, I'm getting paid while you're just scammers. Swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Maybe you intimidate your friends and kin, but when I play to win. And here we are, right at the end, with your game of cheap pretend. Nothing about your world is real. A plastic person that suits to feel.
It must be lonely to sit on a throne made of silence, built not with trust but with lawsuits and threats. Fought like nails to board, shut the mouths that know you best. How sad is it to turn your name into a weapon, to aim at your own kin, your own crew, your own clients, just to keep the truth from catching daylight. But see, truth don't bruise, it burns, and maybe that's why you run from it. Why you hide behind courts, behind contracts and clauses, as if a signature can undo a sin. Because truth is kryptonite, and you ain't made of much steel to begin with.
Yeah, I'm getting paid while you just scammers, swinging fake dreams like broken hammers. Getting mad stuff for what I love the most, wrecking lawyers on these streams I host. It's your time.
All right, baby. What's up? What's up, man? I really could not believe that what we were going to talk about tonight was real at first. Oh, but here we are. Oh my God. Tonight's crazy, man. Tonight is absolutely hilariously crazy. You have news that, again, I actually thought that this was a fake headline that was just being spread around until, interestingly, we had all of this confirmed yesterday. That's right. So they decided that they would confirm what we're going to talk about. You've had Jeremy drop a video on it. If you haven't heard by now, by the way, we were going to look at Jeremy's video from today too. But if you haven't heard by now, their big plan, the plan that apparently, if you look at all the filings that came up in Fed 1 and all the talk, yeah, what we heard wasn't real, I guess, about the lawyer that they... Let me pull this up for you. I want to make this again. They can correct this if they, but this is what they themselves went out and confirmed. Check this out here. Just 1 second. I got a raider already. 1 minute here. Hey kiddo, what are you doing? Here. Yeah. If you want to keep that, then take that upstairs if you want to, but don't pop it down here. It'll be very loud. Okay.
I won't pop it.
Okay. Well, go have fun.
Have a hug and a kiss and a high five and a fist bump.
A what? A hug, a kiss, a high five, and a fist bump? I guess. Let's do it all in that order. Let's see. Hug. Kiss. A high five. Here's your high five. Take it. Tish. And a fist bump. Let's do a buddy
It's
bump.
the best.
Yeah. Bam. All right.
It's the bestie bump.
Yep. That was a bestie bump, of course. All right. Well, hey, let me cover this stuff today. Okay. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Bye.
Hey, tell everyone about my shark toy.
Yes, I'll tell them about the shark toy. Okay. All right. So funny. Have fun. Listen to the fireworks, man. They'll get crazy. You know.
Outside.
Yes, it'll sound like a storm, but that's fireworks. Okay.
Uh-oh.
And we'll look at them when it gets dark. Okay.
Oh,
We'll go out there.
can we do fireworks?
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, all the fireworks get crazy later. Anyway.
Fireworks?
Yeah, if you want to close the door though.
I want to do fireworks.
Well, I'll think. Okay, well, I'll think about fireworks. Go upstairs right now, though, okay? She told me earlier, she was like, it's storming. I was like, it's not storming. She was like, it's storming. Listen to it. I was like, that's fireworks, you know? That's so funny. All right, so check this out. You remember them asking for $6,000 for Florida Council. You remember this, right? Apparently, the Florida Council was just really settle in for this, okay? It was bankruptcy lawyer. That's right. They have gone out and picked up a bankruptcy lawyer because for some reason they think that if she files bankruptcy, not that it'll be stayed. You know, a stay will it'll be a momentary reprieve from a case, but they think, I guess, that it's somehow some kind of giant trump card and it's going to get them off the hook, which is not there's so many problems with this idea. I thought, like I said, I actually thought that this was somebody making up things at first. I really did. I thought there's no way that they think bankruptcy is going to work out the way that they plan it. But yeah, apparently they do. So this $6,000 that they raised here, I want to read this to you, because of the way that it was worded out. But there's $6,000 for Florida counsel to represent MP. Again, I'm gonna read this to you here because there's so much just oddity to it. We have found Florida counsel to represent MP. We need $6,000 to retain them. What? In what world, by the way, does it cost $6,000 to retain counsel for bankruptcy? Like, either things have gotten really, really outlandishly high as of late, or I don't know. But yeah, so the sooner we can raise the funds, the sooner Hales and Shockett will be stopped in court. Also, $388 court costs needed. Now, this was put together by Bruce, whom, interestingly, when you go through last night's discussion, there were the ecosystem was all over last night's Rumble, all over it. And it looks like with Johnny Cook, give me a second here. Johnny Cook is like, you know what? We want to give big props to Bruce for this idea. Check this out. This is crazy. If you go through there's screenshots of conversations, man. So check this out. I'd like to throw a big thank you to OBBB for coming up with a bankruptcy idea after seeing the judge was not paying attention. Wait, what? Wait, what now? Oh my God. Oh, by the way, yes. I don't know if I said this. I can't remember with the raid there, but happy 4th of July, by the way. Love to everybody out there. If you go out later on and you do anything, do it responsibly. Have fun. Have all your fun tonight that you want, but be careful. Be careful. Remember the other people out there too. So even though you may be stone sober or whatever on the night, make sure that you're careful. People out there are crazy, especially U.S., again, drinking and everything else, and people are really stupid. So be very safe today. I definitely, it is a holiday. I try to stream with holidays. So everybody, we had a crazy day today. But like I said, I couldn't believe that this was real when it came up. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And then to brag about, we caught the judge slipping. Wait, what? What are you doing? Why would you say this? Why do you keep saying things? Because I get the idea that they think that this is going to kick everything to the curb. They think everything is going to be dealt with and done. Here's the thing, though, and as somebody posted earlier today, I guess it was about 14 hours ago now. They noted bankruptcy, it's actually a very fragile thing. They noted it as a credit manager. I deal with it on at least a weekly basis. One Chapter 7 case where information wasn't quite accurate or true. A call to the referee and faxing 2 pieces of paper resulted in bankruptcy being set aside, thrown out of court. All debts acknowledged and sanctions being opposed. All from one intentional misrepresentation. Now, the thing that I have a question about with all of this stuff is there's a big amount of money that has been discussed as of late, a little bit more. And I thought it's going to run into some really interesting questions with creditors. Who's a creditor, by the way? Do you know one person I don't think they're thinking about as a creditor? Who does she owe money to? You might think that might find this to be I don't know, just kind of interesting. Who do you think might say, let me take a little bit of a look in that? That's right, Jeremy. Jeremy is one of her creditors. So there's a question of $56,000 or over $56,000. Remember all of the discussion about that money? We were told two things about that very recently, as a matter of fact. We were told, number one, that still exists in a bank account accounted for LP. So that's still around. And number two, that lawyers had somehow audited finance, which still never makes sense to me, because in order to audit, you have to have access to any records of money that has been exchanged. So anything that has happened that has gone their way, if any money whatsoever has been transferred there. So essentially what they're trying to tell me is $56,000 is setting aside. It's just sitting there waiting, baby. There are donations to these people. You have a creditor that knows about this. They have an extensive amount of proof that exists. Holy shit. How in the world do you say that's not hiding money? How are you going to go around that one? $56,000, baby. 56 freaking $1,000. Check my email. Let me see. Give me a minute. Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I will pull that up too, Max Live, in just a second. The everything on there. You know, the thing with the thing with her case and everything that comes up on it. Oh, I mean, this. Who told them that this was a great idea? Oh, wait. Well, it seems like they're crediting Bruce. And I mean, there's plenty of, if you're like, well, that's not them, huh? Well, that's weird, because the whole ecosystem was crawling all over this shit, all over it. Let's see. In fact, you had Miltos last night talking about, there's going to be a lot of Chapter 7s coming. They think that, they think that it's some kind of genius idea. Oh, I see a lot of Chapter 11s coming. Holy God. This, at best, will give you a stay. A stay. It doesn't make it go away. Not only that, but you have some weird questions about when this comes up. What really amazes me about this too is when they're talking about delays. Yet again, we have some kind of crazy delay tactic on top of, again, I don't want you to forget this. They said, talking to a federal judge, telling a federal judge there was a lawyer coming into this. There would be a lawyer, like no joke. We would have a lawyer popping into this stuff. And then all of a sudden it's, wait, no, that's not going to happen. We're not going to have that happen. We've got this other thing that's happening. Let me pull this up here. Give me 1 minute. Instead, we're going to try to divert down another rabbit hole. You know what amazes me about this too? We were told 1,000,000 times over that they had all this information about how they were going to show us proof, They totally were going to show us proof, Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. By the way, here's the thing too. When they deny that's them bragging about stuff, when they're like, that's not John Cook. Yeah, remember that places like Rumble actually they do keep a record of the people that that access their site. So it would be really interesting for them to play the it's totally not me. Sure it wasn't. Sure it wasn't, man. LP was over there last night. Meal Toast, Lips, they're all in the chat. They congregate like little swarms, you know. Then when they say enough stupid things, they're like, that's totally not me. I swear that wasn't me. No, I think John Cook's speaking out of turn again. I think he was. And if, again, he's not the only one that was out there running his mouth too. They made sure, again, to tell us that this stuff was real. Give me 1 second, I'll mute my phone. Oh my God. Can you believe this is, I mean, again, there's docketing, you know? You have the docket and everything else. So, I mean, this stuff is popping up on dockets. And they bragged about it openly. Again, let's watch a Jeremy's video on this today. I didn't get to watch all of it yet. I got to watch some of it. It was pretty good. But I want to watch that video today. Let's check it out together. This has got to be fun to watch. Give me 1 minute. I'm setting up. By the way, typically on a day, like I said, normally I give a video time to breathe. So I want you to do me a favor today, if you would, please. What the hell? If you haven't, for some weird reason, if you are not subscribed to that channel, do so, please. If you have not checked out this video today, I definitely would say, check it out. This is going to be an interesting listen, but you know, usually, like I said, I like to give a day for a video to breathe, but this is crazy stuff. I definitely want to hear his reaction to it on the day. I noted I would be checking that out today too. So, you know, that's all good to go. I'm not doing anything that's, you know, hurting it or anything, but I do want you to make sure that you watch it there. In fact, if you've watched it and with all the crazy, again, they want to delay and they want to cost the man more and more money. And it doesn't matter what they do or how they lie to a judge or anything else. I really, by the way, want to understand how they see the judge thing going. Like, explain that one to me. How do they think? They're like, oh yeah, it's going to stay. That's going to happen. Okay, well okay. Eventually it's still going to come around, right? Even if it works out perfectly in their mind. How do they think telling the judge that, again, they had a lawyer coming, that we would see? They delayed the case. They told the judge that they needed more time to bring in this lawyer. You remember that, right? You remember how they told the judge that? They also told, by the way, I would feel really, let me show you this too, actually. Some people apparently are not the most thrilled about the way that this went because they were lied to, you know? You had people in their chats, just 1 second. I'll pull that video up in a minute, actually. But you also had people in their chat, the people that are funding this stuff that weren't the most thrilled about this. Why? Because, again, they were lied to about how this was going. They feel misled, and I don't blame them. Again, if they feel this way, how might a judge feel about that? Because they didn't just come in and were given time. They had delays where they asked for more time so they could get a damn lawyer. They kept saying it's around the curve. They lied to their backers. They kept telling them that they had a lawyer coming. And it ended up being some kind of another delay tactic where they have built another $6,000 out of these dumbasses. Another. And for what? And for what? At some point, these people are going to get sick of it. They should. And you notice the money doesn't come rolling in every time they ask for it anymore. It goes to the slow roll. And that's because at the end of it, I think a lot of their folks are feeling it. They're feeling like maybe it's not going to go the way that they were told. See, at first, all these bankers were told that all the evidence against Hale's, all of this proof, they couldn't wait for their day in court. They just needed representation. So they supposedly got enough money, which again, we talked about. $6,000 is a crazy amount. Like that, if they kept saying that was going to be for a lawyer for everything, right? A lawyer for everything. We're like, there's no way that you're getting a lawyer that's worth anything for $6,000. We're going to have another Stark. That's what we thought. But then you started having all of these entries. Oh man, when you get to, I'm watching this hit real quick. I like watching when I get to see them start up. Ba-bam, ba-bam, ba-bam. I love it. Look at this gifted memberships hit. That's wild there. Yeah, exactly, Ruth. Ruth was like 6K equals 2K for a retainer, 4K for some pockets. I'm not saying, but well. But yeah, you have people out there that are like, I'm not happy that the money I gave to Bruce for LP's new attorney to represent her in 2 federal cases. Now, again, you think about that. 2 federal how would they imagine that was going to work? Did they think that BBB was going to be pulling BS behind the scenes? Did they think that disbarred lawyer and quote unquote retired lawyer that were all going to be getting together behind the scenes and pulling strings too? Because I hate to tell you, like, again, if they were a law firm, would you hire them? Disbarred, retired, and well, fuck it, I quit the case. I mean, that's probably not the law firm I would hire. So how did you think that the $6,000 was going to work out? You know, there was a problem, though, when she kept filing things on her own. When the mailing kept coming in, you knew that there was a problem. I knew that there was a problem. We saw there was some kind of major issue here because nothing was moving forward, you know, with a lawyer. It was just, you just wait. They're coming. They're coming. But when that $6,000 was discussed, like I said, even then, I stand by this. Who the hell would take on not 1 but 2 federal cases for $60,000? Nobody. I mean, that would be, again, all you would have gotten at best would have been another puppet lawyer, which you saw how badly that went. At the end of the day, what you would have done, you would either have some moron get out there. Like I thought there was a specific moron maybe that had joined in, but apparently not. Apparently they just flagrantly lied to these folks. And on top of it, by the way, they're out there talking about the protective order too. You know, last night they're also shooting off about the, let's see, where is it? Give me a second. They were talking about wanting to get the protective order removed as well. So they're doing this still too. I mean, they don't know when to shut up. Oh, he'll be coming after us in Ohio. That's why we need to get a lawyer. Wait, but you already had money to get a lawyer, you dipshits. They gave you money. Oh my God. They want a lawyer. They want these people, the same people that they just misled, to give them more money for Ohio so they can hire somebody and try to go after the protective order that they're not supposed to be talking about all the time. And they keep violating, including this shit right here, because supposedly it's all quote unquote a house of cards. I agree. It is a house of cards, but not in the way that you want to tell people. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so entertained today. Let's read a little stupid, shall we? Oh my God, it's so good. How can this be real? Oh, jeez, man. I mean, they are doing everything wrong, but it is a freaking house of cards. Let's dance a little, you know. Yeah, they screwed up all of their cases. They have screwed over all of their backers. Oh, they screwed up some more backers. Oh, defraud backers. Oh, isn't that fun? Oh, wait, is that not the lyrics to the Macarena? My bad. I forgot the lyrics. You know. Oh my God. This is too funny. What's up with the little arms in? I don't know. That's what I did. For real. I just said, hey, why don't you take my picture here and make it dance? And it gave me those little tiny arms. I was not trying to make fun of anything or be stupid about it. I wanted a dancing sequence. And that's what it gave me for a dancing. It gave me 2 dancing sequences. You want to see them from that day? It gave me that one, and it gave me, I had a birthday dancing sequence. You know, this was supposed to be happy birthday from all of us to you. Yeah, happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. It's some terrible singing. That's my other one. It did that day. It did most of why like that. I told it I wanted my Terminator looking one that I have in one of the videos. I wanted him to have a sombrero on, and I wanted him to dance. So that's what I got. So I got that and the little tiny armed one. Oh my Lord. Yeah, at least it's full armed. I know, man. What's up? Anyway, let's check this video out together. Oh, this weekend's going to be really funny. It's going to be pretty lit. This weekend, by the way, my plan, if I don't manage this weekend, it's not my fault, okay? But my plan is I want to go through and I want to cover some of the stupid file. I mean, we just saw the 2L1 filing, you know, and by the way, let me note this on the too. So, as part of the Fed case here, again, Max Lab. Thanks for again. I do want to give Max Lab some love here for sure, because it is a house of just chaos trying to keep up with how many cases and crazy are out there. Max Lab does pretty damn good about juggling dockets for sure, and be like, hey, did you see this thing? Or hey, and you know, other people send things as well, but I do want to give him love because he does send any screenshot of the docket that comes up too. And I thought this was good. This is a Fed 2 docket report, you know, and the reason I wanted to look at the 2L1 filing that she put up, the actual filing where she wants to put in her motion to amend, which was attached. By the way, I got sent some clips yesterday. Man, these people just make up random weird shit. They had made up like Megan left after hearing the bankruptcy thing because she was so mad she stormed off. I was like, what? She had an internet problem and her signal quit. And we thought the bankruptcy thing was so dumb we thought it was fake. By the way, they can never keep any of their little plans all to themselves. They have to come out there and they have to buzz. You know, if I were Bruce, I would be pissed off this whole array of dipshits. I would, because Bruce, for anything I can say, at least Bruce is trying some crazy shit here and there. Now, I'm not saying they're good ideas, but I mean, Jesus, what kind of idea are you going to have that's going to be a good one in this mess? But these people, they can't keep their traps shut when anything comes up. They have to go out because, again, they need the content machine to keep rolling, which, okay, but they give away the game. They sacrifice LP and JC on the altar of content. And I appreciate that. I really do. I think it's interesting and fun. But man, if I were Bruce, I'd probably behind the scenes. I understand why he blew a gasket on one of their freaking live streams. I get it. Like he had a damn meltdown because of that stuff. I do get it, because there are some things maybe they shouldn't brag about as of yet. You know, maybe they should keep it under their hats, but they don't. None of it. Like right when it comes up, they've been promising some gigantic move too. Their gigantic move was, we're going to, if it continues forward and doesn't get dismissed, we're going to make Jeremy Hale's pay. One second, I got a writer come in. Hey, what's up, kiddo?
But
I got a video I gotta go through. Okay.
hey everyone.
You want to say hi for a minute?
Hi. Have a good day.
Yeah. Did you have fun today?
Yeah. And tomorrow night I'm going to receive fireworks. And I like fireworks. I got burned by a cycle one time, but that was a little burn.
Yeah. You got a sparkler. That's right. A little sparkler got you on the finger, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, oh my gosh, the sparkler.
I was selfish.
It happens. You were nervous. It's okay. It didn't hurt you though, did it?
Yeah, they hurt me too bad, but I fixed.
You got a little spark touch your finger. You're like, oh my gosh, birds.
Yeah, circles born actually, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, they're pretty safe as long as you're careful, right? As long as you're careful.
You remember when we had a bunch of circles?
Yeah.
We did a bunch of circles one time.
Yeah, we're gonna do sparklers this time. If you're good, you gonna be good.
Yes, I won't burn my hand again.
I'm not talking about your hand. Like that's fine. Like, you know, you got to just hold them there. We're talking about when they light. You know how the little sparks come out and they pop off. Just a little bit. One of them tapped her on the finger, and she's like, "Oh my goodness."
Those actually burn, right? That.
Yeah, they do. They do burn. But you know what? They were fun to play with, and you had a good time, didn't you?
Yeah, maybe I almost quitting, right?
Yeah. Oh, but you didn't quit. You were pretty tough that day, weren't you?
Yeah, I only burned my hand a little bit. It looks
That's
like
right.
that's touching it by a bond.
Yeah.
Who wants to get burned by a cycle?
I know.
But that did.
But you powered on, didn't you? Yeah.
I always have to do.
Powered on for America.
Can you tell how strong I am?
I see your muscles, but hey, if you want to do
No,
fire,
can you tell them how
yes,
strong I am?
she has giant muscles. You probably lift a car with those muscles. She's
Oh, I
flexing
can
for me
lift
right
a
now.
dumbbell.
Yeah, or a dumbbell. Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, here, bang it out.
I can't even lift Sissy off the couch.
Oh my gosh, you can pick her up with one hand.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. Hey, I got to go through a video there. If you want to do fireworks, you know, you be good today and you have to be good tomorrow. Remember? Okay.
Like tomorrow?
Yes, you have to be good if we're going to do them, right? Well, yeah.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
It's tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's when everything will get crazy. They'll start tonight. There will be a lot of crazy tonight, and they'll go through all weekend.
Tomorrow night is fireworks.
Yeah, there will be fireworks tonight too. We'll mess around and watch them too. We have. I realize tonight's the 4th, but you know we have relatives and stuff that'll do some stuff tomorrow. And when I take them out, see, our whole neighborhood, they get crazy around here, shooting off big stuff. So we watch them a bit, but I don't like with the kids, and you know, they want to play with sparklers and things like that. So I usually let them do that tomorrow. You know, it's safer tomorrow. Today, no, I ain't going out in the lawn and getting no freaking cannon shot on me. You know, almost one year, I don't know if you've listened for a while, there was a year, it was either last year or the year before that, one of the neighbors got themselves on fire and was running across my lawn on fire. So, yeah, I make sure that the day of the kids, I might give them a little bit and take them out on the side, you know, where it's shielded off and safe. But people are really dumb. I love watching this stupid, but we watch it from a safe distance. Oh man, there will be a show this weekend. The whole weekend will be off the hook. But anyway, this week, what we also have coming up, and the thing I'd planned on doing was going over again the 2L1 motion in Fed 2, because we're going to have by the 10th. That will mean, you know, in a week, within a week, we're going to have an answer to it. And I'm not sure. Again, I don't know for a fact. I'm not privy to the discussions from the team there, obviously. But I'm sure that Randy wants to answer somebody that called him a liar and said that he had misled them about what had not delivered anything to them, that they essentially blamed him for needing to amend their filing. Not that they were stupid and they messed up. You can make mistakes, by the way. And if you take credit for that, you take credit for it. Even lawyers make mistakes, man. I mean, it happens. But in this, we notice everybody that is connected to these morons out there, they never take credit for their mistakes, ever. It's always someone else's fault. So I'm sure that we're going to see some receipts showcasing that this was a lie to the court. I'm pretty sure that that would happen, because I would be pissed if you came out there and called me a liar repeatedly. So I do want to read that this weekend. And I mean, we've got a Bruce filing we never saw the answer to. There's a bunch of stuff, but today's stuff today is brought to you by the letter duh. All right, so let's check this out. Oh my goodness. Again, as I was saying before, make sure that you're subscribed to What the Hales. Make sure you play, like when you go through, give their videos a couple of plays, put together a playlist. If you want to help channels out, any channel, you can have our channel out this way too. You put together a playlist of things. And when you walk out the door, just let it play. It doesn't hurt anything. Ads, when they come up, it'll play them, and creators will get paid if they're, if they're ad ready. And What the Hell's videos, that's how they get paid. So you just put together a little playlist of stuff. Like I said, when you walk out the door, turn it on, let them play. So anyway, having said that, let's check this out here.
If you're indigent and you have nothing, why would you claim bankruptcy?
That's a good question. I have nothing, therefore I'm going to protect my nothing. Okay, that's interesting strategy. I got you.
I'm digging back into these 2 storage units that I bought for over $1,000, but I'm going to be digging into Lynette Preston's and John Crook's newest blunder, the biggest blunder mistake they could have ever made. Let's dig in.
It's so dumb, man.
Goodness, Christian, much has happened that you don't know about yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with the court cases.
Oh, yes.
Oh, look at that. That's Murano. With the Murano right there.
Murano made in Italy.
Murano glass.
You know who's going to love this?
Patience.
Oh, yeah. You hear that bell? Dinner time. Oh, you know what that reminds me of? The bell that's going to be going off in court.
One thing I like about these videos, by the way, is...
First of all, let's back up.
The free discussion of the trials. They're doing something, so they're going through whatever they find with the storage unit. They're going through and checking out everything. But on top of that, you get a free flow of thoughts and ideas. So, Joy, you have quite a bit that's presented in pretty interesting fashion. You can watch something, it can be visually entertaining, but at the same time cover. So if you haven't been watching, like when these come up, I like catching up. I like catching somebody's ideas on what's happening.
Old Deucey boy. Oh, yeah. Old Deucey thought he was going to be a genius, and he, under misrepresentation, he fundraised, although they called it a PayPal pool, he fundraised over $6,000 and stated it was for Lynette, for legal representation in all.
Yeah, and again, they're playing a semantics game. Because they'll come in and they'll be like, well, we told you it was for a lawyer. Really? Are we going to play that game? Because again, that's what they'll do. They'll say, we didn't mislead anyone. But again, their pools, they've been talking about, again, they said they found Florida counsel to represent MP. We have found Florida counsel. I mean, you think about what's said in that. Now, what is she in trouble for? What does she need counsel for? Fed 1, Fed 2. They talked about it in streams for freaking hell. I mean, they said they needed $6,000 to retain them. The sooner we can raise the funds, the sooner Hales and Shockett will be stopped in court. Also, $338 in court costs. So again, how does that represent to you? Because like I said, I know that we'll be out, that we'll be talking about how there was no misrepresentation in any way, shape, or form. But you look at that, and you listen to it. The people they deceived were the people that were giving money. And if this was supposed to be some strategy that they were setting on until later, well, they blew that out of the water, didn't they? I mean, they had to say something about it soon. But again, they didn't just mislead other people, too. They misled the court because the court was given the impression they asked for extensions of time so the lawyer would come in. And then we got this. So just remember that when you hear all the deflection and other shit, they represented it to the backers and to the court a specific way.
All over Florida cases. That's kind of cool right there, made in China. And these freaks and fools, they gave money. Even though we've said it over and over and over again, that the scammers continue to scam the scammers. And that's exactly what has happened again. Oh my goodness. Look at that picture. And so now we have confirmation on video and recorded for court that the $6,000+ was not for legal representation in the Florida cases. It was utilized for Lynette to file for bankruptcy. Look at that right there. Look at that right there. 1997.
The $6,000.
That kind of looks like.
Let me catch that there. $6,000. Instead of going that route, they wanted to play some game with it. Again, I would also be irritated because if I gave they keep telling the ecosystem that they have all of this proof. They're going to demolish Jeremy with it. Just give more money, give more dollars, right? If you give more for court filings, if you keep their fight going on, all they want to do is be able to present their proof. Well, are they presenting proof here? Have you seen them present any proof? Is this the method? Because I don't see that happening. I see them trying some scammy fucking delay tactic with this stuff. And again, that's what this is. Delay tactic. It is not going to dismiss this here. In fact, there's a little thing about money and creditors. It's called willful and malicious conduct. When someone does something willfully and when someone does something maliciously, they have a problem about trying to discharge specific items and costs. And again, one creditor that I guess they're not thinking about protective order anybody. Yeah, they owe Jeremy Hale's money. Huh.
Like silver, doesn't it? Except, now, I should back up just a little bit, right? Lynette has emailed and messaged my lawyer stating, I filed for bankruptcy. This puts everything in the cases in a stay, which is not correct. Now, there are some things that will be on pause for a moment.
Yeah, see, again, like, what does this really accomplish? What did your $6,000 that you gave to the ecosystem, what did that buy? Because they keep going, Bruce is so hypocritical in this shit because he complains. 1 week he'll be saying that Jeremy Hales and Randy, all they do is try to delay. Yeah, this is the same guy that bragged about a 5-month delay. Now he is trying yet again to delay these cases as they go forward. Again, these are the same people that say that they want justice. And yeah, do you see them really chasing justice with that? Or do they chase delay tactics?
And it is a very brief moment. Very brief moment. But filing for bankruptcy is, quite frankly, one of the most foolish moves they could have ever made. All right, let's see. And these are individuals that screw up. I mean, a day doesn't go by that the What the Hales ecosystem doesn't screw something up. And they've screwed up big. Because now what Lynette has done, Lynette has messaged my lawyer and has stated that everything is now on a stay. Look at that. Snow White, 7 Dwarfs, completely and totally sealed. Shirley Temple, Rebecca at Sunbrook Farm, sealed. Wizard of Oz, sealed. Woo! So she contacts
VHS tapes have been making a comeback, by the way,
and says everything after this. If you If you actually, you know what? I'm gonna read it.
Oh, I want to hear
I'm
this.
gonna read it right now.
I didn't get to hear this.
She states this. I have filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy, and I am notifying you of the automatic stay of all proceedings. Now, let's be very clear. Filing Chapter 7 bankruptcy does not put an automatic stay on all proceedings. Notices will be filed on the docket, but any filing after this email will violate the automatic stay. Sincerely, Michelle Preston, parentheses, Lynette. Now, to be clear.
Now, with this, by the way, yes, Cynic, I did get your emails, by the way. That came on the doctor day, so I still haven't gotten around to it. But I did get them for sure, man. I appreciate it. Again, I don't want to mention certain things that some people bring up some really interesting flaws in the way that these folks try to proceed. So yeah, if you found something interesting, hit me with it. Again, I love putting this puzzle together and seeing how these people screw up. And sometimes there might be something there. I would definitely let specific people know that, hey, there's an issue. I'll write and be like, yo, what's up with this? I mean, they have sued again. Typically, for me, when I'm threatened with litigation, like these people try to pull this bullshit and they try to dig into my real life and stuff, man, fuck them. I definitely take that. How do you not take that personally? We don't threaten you personally. By the way, it's not personal. Yeah, fuck you. So if there's something there that even if it doesn't go toward the case being mad, man, I'd laugh I'd laugh personally and privately if I need to, or if it's something that's coming up and yeah, that's part of strategy. I'd laugh publicly. As well, if I find out, like, it's an idea that like you came up with and then we see it come up, that's when it gets good. I'll be like, oh my God, that's the thing Cynic said. And I definitely would love to credit something like that, so shoot something, or if you see something, that'd be funny. I love it when dots get connected that way.
What Lynette stated there is not true, and we already know where she gets all of her legal advice from freaks and fools. And this has got to be seriously one of the worst things they could have done for Lynette, but frankly, one of the best things ever for me. And right now, all of you are probably going, wait, hold a second. How's this a good thing? Well, Lynette was already in so many court cases. Check that out right there.
Glow.
Oh, we should send this to David, the donor, who is going to put up $3 million. Huh. We'll send that out to you, David. David, that's coming to you. Appreciate you. Yeah, and it glows too. Wait, is there a date on this? No. Texas.
Ooh, switch plates.
A glowing plate. David the donor. We should.
It doesn't have a 3 on it.
Unpunched. You see that right there?
Send it. It's gonna be $3 million.
That makes it even worth more money.
You know what amazes me, by the way, is like this. They would try to rally this and make money, being like, oh my God, look, he said something about, okay, well, they spent 3 fucking months attacking this dude. 3 months. And they're the ones profiting off of this person. I swear. Well, again, one of the statements that was utilized to back their grift inflow, I think it becomes ammunition for a bankruptcy too, because again, remember the $56,000 are over. Let me state this correctly. He said he donated over $56,000. We were told that money is still there. That money was donated again to LP. How the fuck can you claim that you have $56,000? They've said this repeatedly. In order to get donors, in order to stave off any criticism or critique, they said that money's still there. Well, that's Michelle Preston's money. That's her freaking money donated to her. So she's going to go this route. Creditors get the first shot at her money. She's not going to be able to carry $56K forward. I hate to tell you. And you're not going to be able to hide it there. And again, the guy who is talking here is a creditor. He's allowed to have a voice in this stuff. They have proof that there is the money. Again, this is the dumbest move. The dumbest, because they have invited somebody that actually knows about the money into the proceedings. Oh my God. Why would you do that? 56,000 or over 56,000. Again, either it exists and you chose, or it doesn't. And wow, what a discovery. But they have, again, there is plenty of proof that was donated to this person. There have been public statements that have been recorded that note that money is still around. That money, you can't just say, oh, well, yeah, I've got it, but I get to use it how I want for them. It's not their money. Bullshit. You raised it in their name. It's their money. That's fucking fraud. So, oh, what a way to go. What a way to go, baby.
Coming to you, David, the donor. We'll have that in the mail here. And so one of the things that she did, which was the most ridiculous and foolish things, under the legal counsel of Deuce. And here's the funniest part. Here is the funniest part. That Crook went in a live chat last night and clearly stated this was Deuce's idea and thanked him publicly for the idea because the federal judge wasn't seeing what was really going on. So now we have multiple things going on. Highway to Heaven. You know where they're on a highway to?
Why would you make that why would you make that statement, by the way? Like let me know. Why would you go in and be like, haha, we caught the judge slipping? Like, why would you do this? Why would you mock a judge openly? Again, saying, you know what? We caught the judge slipping. Ha ha ha. Thanks to our ex-lawyer. You know, the guy we also we fired. I mean, you think about that. Why would you do it? But they do. Again, you know, if you think there are people out there that think some of these moves are too dumb for a person to make. No, they do them. They make them all the time. They make these mistakes all the time. There you go. The cool, exactly. Because they are stupid AF. You are indeed correct, my friend. You know, because they're morons. There's another one. Yeah. Cook calling the judge a D-bag. And again, you know, you can have opinions about a judge, sure. But to brag about how you caught the judge slipping, you know, you shouldn't make those kind of statements. That they have a way. When you misrepresent, see, they misrepresented themselves to the court. They told the court that there was a lawyer coming. Then they went this way. Do you think this judge doesn't like delays like that? Again, the judge hasn't done shit so far. But, oh my God, man. I mean, they flagrantly lied to the court. They cost the plaintiff here money. They cost the plaintiff here time. They also, you know, they like to talk about polymop. Well, you know, they talk about the multiplication of proceedings. Huh. Doesn't that seem like what we're seeing here? Aren't they describing themselves?
They're on a highway to Hales. Okay.
Highway to Hales.
Highway to Heaven.
That's funny, actually.
So now we have open admittance that, number one, it was Deuce's idea. And number two, it was to relieve themselves of what's going on in federal court, which this doesn't relieve them at all. And the other thing we have, grandmother's wonderful wisdom. Journaling the love of God's good sense. The other thing that we have going on is, this is pretty cool. You guys can sell all that. The other things going on, that now we have fraudulent on the federal court as well. Because
there you go. I'd not let
two
because I did not get a chance to go through all of this. I saw he put up a video. I was like, ooh, fun. So it's really funny to go through and to hear. Yeah, that's the same idea. Because when I heard that, I thought, man, they defrauded the court. Like they totally lied to the court about the lawyer coming. That was the first thing I thought of. All of this delay, where they were like, yeah, I mean, that's what LP kept saying to the court repeatedly. I've got a lawyer coming. What's really messed up again is she was also telling people publicly comments. Remember, she was making comments on her YouTube. She was making comments and chats and more. They were finalizing things. They would be out there. And like I kept saying to you over and over, is they are still filing paperwork on their own. Nobody that has a lawyer representing them would be out there filing their own freaking paperwork. They wouldn't be mailing in stuff. They wouldn't make these stupid arguments that they had been making. It's like there's no way they have a lawyer. And they kept they were telling us all we were liars. And on top of that, they were lying to the people that gave the money for it. At some point, you would think those people would get sick of that. Because they gaslit them. They didn't try to just gaslight us. They gaslight them, the donor. Like, again, I think they need a reminder of that. Because they played you for a fucking fool. They're dun dun dun. They took your money, they delayed the case instead of, again, trying to get justice with it. As they say, they're gonna bring up and do this or that. If you've bought into that, look at the tactic. They just want to kick the can down the road yet again. And in order to do that, they lied to a judge. If that's not a problem for you, they lied to you.
So that she could have her lawyer file an appearance in the federal court case. You have fraud on the court in federal court, and you have fraud on the court in bankruptcy court now. Admittedly, all on the record. Like, how stupid could you get? But that's not the dumbest thing they did.
By the way, too, for some reason, if you need a Muppet while I'm sitting here, you can hear me typing. I apologize. Sometimes I'll forget to mute out, but I'm making Muppets while we're going through the video. So if you've mailed, I've caught up the ones that I saw. If I missed you, just bump the message back to the top. Or if you needed a Muppet, you've got a picture and you're like, man, we should have made that into a Muppet. Send them over. We'll do them while we're here. All right.
I can't even believe it. Have you seen the Planet Earth series?
No.
Oh my goodness. This series is so good. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
so
I like that
good.
series.
You got to watch it on the big screen, surround sound. Oh, yes. Uh-oh. We're on the money, honey. Oh, wait. Did I just call you honey?
Yeah. Or I thought you were talking to someone else, honestly.
I was talking to George.
Like the all night, like the ambient, like just everybody.
To the audience. I was talking. We're on the money, honey. To the audience.
Yeah, just everything.
Yeah, that's what I was really. Here you go. There's another rosary. That's a pretty rosary right there, too. Oh, wait. Look at this one here. Did you put something in there? I think you put something in there. That might have held ashes. Maybe.
What is that? Is that what that is?
Maybe not. So, bankruptcy court, when you go into bankruptcy court, a number of things go on. By the way, bankruptcy court is federal court. There's Arthur Fiddler. And one of the things that happens in bankruptcy court is your creditors are brought into bankruptcy court.
Yep.
Check that out. Little Stanley action right there. And yoink! Yoink! Now we have a knife, Christian.
What happened to your one?
You're asking me what happened to the knife?
You were yes knowing all the time. You just yes noted out of existence.
It's done gone. Crystalline pocket stone. Christian, can you guess who one of the creditors are that will be in bankruptcy court against Lynette?
Is it you?
How did you know, Christian?
I don't know.
Does Deuce not comprehend? Does Lynette not comprehend? Does Crook not comprehend? And we already know the answer is no. They're so freaking stupid and foolish. I am one of Lynette Preston's creditors. I will be in the bankruptcy case. 100%. And now what they've done, let's say this was the federal court case right there. You got a book. Let's say this is all Lynette's finances and her whole life right here, right? And
And here's the catch on that too. Okay, so if they decided they were going to pay off the money to Jeremy so they could stop anything from happening, right? The problem that they have with that is, where would that money come from? If they brought it in and they pay off fines from a protective order, if they bring it in from another party, then doesn't that just, go well beyond into proving the whole collusion narrative? When you think about this, these people, they've gone to the point, you have a guy that is no longer representing these people, and a bunch of other people that say they totally have nothing to do with Lynette Preston. They just talk about that, and they get together to talk about it, but they're raising money to delay the case they're involved in with LP, not the one they're involved, but, well, I guess that is the one they're involved in too, but Fed 1 especially, they're hoping to put to hit the brakes on that one. But again, they can only delay this stuff. They can only delay the action. You have to wonder, there's another big thing that they're not thinking of. And I want to see if this is mentioned in here, because I don't want to, I thought of something while I was sitting here that I don't think they're thinking of. Something that is a major issue for them in all of this. And I don't want to give that one away, because that one will be quite the surprise. But I want to see if he mentions it. If he doesn't, I'm not giving that one away. There is a major issue, I think, that they did not take into account. I can't believe, though, with everything that has gone wrong for Lynette Preston and John Cook, that they are still taking the advice of these idiots. I cannot. Again, what other choice did they have? Well, they could go another route. They could maybe, abide by the protective order. That would be a smart way to play, right? Never discuss the guy across the street. Figure out a way to get themselves situated in these cases. Get that and move forward your life in some other positive way. Now, that's never going to happen. But there is another way they could go. There is. When it's talked about, there are other ways. In fact, they could have gone that way. Once the protective order in Florida, once all of that was situated, they could have gone a different direction. They could have probably gotten things to a specific place where you'd have a protective order in place in Ohio. You go about your business. They go about their business. Again, they'd have probably had to work some shit out. But that place right there, they could have. Instead, they have done everything in their power to delay cases, to come up with anything other than to do what you should. And it boggles my mind. But they keep taking advice from people that have been wrong over and over again. Like, it blows my mind. I love watching it. But why would you keep listening to these people? And again, that's not taking any, when I say this, I'm trying to be careful in saying this, because I don't want to take any of the credit away from LP and JC. It is their problem. They are doing this stuff. They may have Megamouth and friends out there that are pushing and promoting all of this insanity. But ultimately, it does fall back on them. So it's not like they are not doing anything, but they think they get away with things because idiots tell them that they will. And they have been wrong so much. Again, they should go back all the way to where they were talking about protective order. They were wrong. About the case, Fed 1 getting dismissed, kicked out. They were wrong. It is going forward. About everything from not having to turn over discovery and more, they were wrong. By the way, that's another thing. Instead of getting a lawyer and hashing out what the discovery needs were here, actually abiding by Fed 1 decisions, they decided they would go this way. So they never worked out the only thing that we ended up with discovery was John Cook riding in with some insane shit that we'll probably cover tomorrow. I don't think we'll get anything tonight. Maybe we will. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think we'll get to cover that one tomorrow. And that one's great. But he writes in saying, essentially, we're not turning over anything else. Why? Because conspiracy. But their plan, instead of turning things over, was to go this route. And again, they realize that even in the perfect world where they talk about delay, a stay is a delay. So if it works out exactly like they thought, it is a delay tactic. Fed 1 is here. It's happening. And all you did with this is you're going to piss off that judge. That judge was totally in favor of these idiots before. He was. They don't realize that he had bought into the buzzwords. But Bruce has just caused an absolute disaster for them. He went out of his way. He helped them. He tried to help them get a fucking lawyer. And they don't see that. Oh my God, man. It blows my mind. Anyway, let's continue.
A court case, I can file motions and I can get access to maybe 1 page, maybe 2 pages, right? Now I'm a creditor in her bankruptcy case. That gives me access to everything.
That's right.
They just opened up the door in bankruptcy court to give me access to every single penny, her entire life. I'm one of her creditors. I will be battling her in bankruptcy court.
Well, and on top of that, he'll know about the lies that are there. When typically with your creditors, they might be able to pull a fast one and to say, well, we don't have this or we don't have that. Like most creditors would have no idea about the $56,000. How would they, right? But this guy here knows that money exists and he can prove that it exists. He can prove that money was gathered, that there have been public discussions about how the money still remains. In fact, again, we had a public statement from the guy who gave it saying that, oh yeah, my lawyers looked at it and it's still there. It's all good to go. It's gravy, baby. And you had 2L saying that they are holding the money too. So, I mean, you got all of this shit that you can 100%, but he had no way to present it before. They have just opened the door for him. It's amazing. It is. This is like fucking Christmas for a case. I can't believe. Again, it's like they tried to shut a window by opening the front door, or maybe they shut a window by taking off the roof. God.
So you have foolish people like the fleas out there going, this is all going to end. This is all going to be on pause. No, what they literally just did, 3 CD set right there. What they literally just did is just opened up an entire new lawsuit against Lynette with me in it. The insanity of it. Okay, so we've got, I hear a Rhapsody. That's all new and sealed. Rose book of Bible charts. Oh, this is really good. I always enjoyed Bible charts. It helps visualize what you're reading. So some people, they need that visualization. And there are other people that are so foolish and so dumb to think that this was such a great move for her to declare bankruptcy. And all it did was give me another route and another angle to find relief for what she owes. So that's another Rose book of Bible charts, maps, timelines. This is sweet, man. That's good stuff. So what federal court 1 and 2 would have done is given me limited access to all of her information. Now I have complete and total access. They kicked down the door for me. They literally kicked down.
Can you all hear the fireworks here, by the way? I don't know if you could hear those. Those are some big ones I can hear. The neighbors will really get crunk about. about 11 o'clock. That's when they'll get real crazy. But I don't know if you can hear those. They sound like freaking bombs going off in the background. So if you hear something, remember it is a holiday. And again, happy 4th of July.
On the door and then are laughing and going,
No, you can't. Okay.
Genius! Genius! We're geniuses! We have fraud upon the court, lied
Yes.
to herself.
They have been celebrating how they're geniuses.
Lied, completely and totally lied to the federal magistrate, and stated that she had a lawyer that was coming and she needed the continuances because of that. We have complete and total fraud on the bankruptcy court because it's not about bankruptcy, it's about getting out of federal court.
That's another thing too. They are stating publicly that they are filing bankruptcy not because of financial need or anything. This is so they can get out of court proceedings in which, again, the accusations about them. And with the protective order, I'd be curious about how a protective order works into, where you have a decision against a person. Because remember, something that is done willfully or maliciously, that's not something you could discharge anyway. So the money from Jeremy Hales, when you go out and you violate a protective order, how is that not malicious or willful? So I'd be very curious about how they plan on presenting that anyhow. But the other accusations against him, I mean, you think about it. They went out and they tried to set a man's life on fire. They tried to burn it down. It'll be interesting to see how that presents. They should maybe look up some of the rules on all of this stuff too, and the way that you can kind of derail yourself as well.
And we have Crook, who has admitted that in the chat. So check that out. Remember the Glow Friends? Check that out. You don't remember the Glow Friends?
No.
Oh yeah,
dude.
they
were little
glowworm.
They were super cool.
We got a glowworm.
Little worms and little toys, plastic toys.
We got a glowworm actually. I always liked those. Like for kids, my youngest has a glowworm. I know that totally has nothing to do with the case of my boss on glowworm, but I always thought that thing was cute. This little glowworm.
And oh yeah, Countdown to Christmas. Oh, I can't believe you don't remember Glow Friends. Yeah, I can believe it. You don't remember anything from the 80s.
Was it from the 87? I was
like, it was 87, Jeremy. I mean,
I had 11 years still.
Yeah. You're like, parents weren't even bringing me into the world for 11 years. So we have massive amounts of fraud on the court, which we will be filing fraud on the court.
Yeah,
by all means. And now I am in bankruptcy court with her as well. So I get to go for financial relief in bankruptcy court as I'm one of her creditors. Now, I know what everybody is thinking. Wait, Jeremy, how can you be one of her creditors? You don't have a credit card with her. She didn't buy her vehicle from you. Oh, well, that's pretty easy. She owes me. I have court-ordered funds that she owes me. As a matter of fact, she owes me just roughly around $2,000 right now. And because of that, let's see what this does. That would be legal fees. That would be contempt charges. All contempt. There we go. Venice, lace, collar, and sewing tips. Okay. I don't know exactly what that is, but so all the contempt fees that she's had to pay, that goes to me, which she hasn't paid. Neither has Crook. She also has to pay my lawyer fees. She's been found guilty, even though she continues to post that she's innocent. And this is going to be so interesting in court. She is publicly still posting to this day.
Yes, I don't understand that, by the way.
She's been found guilty.
I do not understand how you can continue to talk about the thing you've been found guilty of with a protective order, by the way. She has continued to target the person. Just because this stuff is moving slowly does not mean that it is not moving. I mean, that's the wildest thing to me. I've been watching this for a while now with Ohio, and they're going to move forward with Ohio. You know that'll happen. You know there's no way that they would set that aside. And they keep posting and they keep talking about it. I don't know. It's some of the craziest mess I've ever seen. What I'm doing right now is I'm looking at the docket because it's fascinating to look back and to see what they should have done, what's come up, and what they didn't have a lawyer involved. They could have picked up a lawyer instead. Remember, they didn't just have all of this delay garbage come up. They also, I wonder, by the way, if they told their bankruptcy lawyer what their amazing plan is. You know, I wonder if they told the. Because I doubt they did.
The initial time, she's been found guilty in contempt. She's been found guilty in another contempt, and she's going to be found massively guilty in an upcoming contempt. Ooh, look at that caboodles right there. Caboodles, oodles of caboodles. So now I get to go after her in bankruptcy court as well. So the geniuses yet again screwed up so massively. Like I can't even begin. This is one of the funniest things. Dodgy Robbie, who I posted a community post a couple days ago. Dodgy Robbie is the one at the flea market that's been dodging. He's literally hiding, like he's in prison behind his own fence right now, hiding. So we got 1972. It's a Hummel calendar. So Dodgy Robbie, because he's scared to go to court. This is the same guy that online tells a veteran to get a pew-pew and pull the trigger in his mouth.
I remember that.
These people are. Same guy is now living life like he's in prison behind his own gate because he's scared of getting served. As they talk so much about, I can't wait till they serve me. I can't wait for my deposition. They've all dodged their depositions. And I can't wait to tell the judge this. And now, yet again, tell me you're guilty without telling me you're guilty. Oh, there's a pretty easy way to do that. Try and get out of it by filing bankruptcy. The guilt.
Oh, by the way, so somebody posted something really interesting. I want to show you real quick. All right. So, and then we'll come right back to this. They posted, if they try to confuse this matter, if you look, like this is actually a pretty good post, because what they do, you remember you remember this receipt over here on the right. You can see it right here. Yeah. This receipt where they're blocking things out. If you go in and you look at everything that's set up on it and you start looking at all of this with the bankruptcy lawyer, yeah, it looks like from go. They're playing from go. This wasn't a new plan to go with the bankruptcy thing. Just to note, where they put up this terrible looking receipt here, it looks like that was always the plan. So if they try to come in and they try to say, actually, while we were thinking about it, we picked up money and then blah, blah, blah happened. No, it looks like this was the plan all along. So they misled the court on that and misled their backers all along on it. It looks like that's what that receipt, again, they could go out and try to set that straight, but that looks like exactly, again, they tried to play the whole, actually my semantics, Don't you love that, by the way? When courts love it, when you're like, well, actually, what I did wasn't really misleading. It's like, yeah, it was. Anyway, let's bring that back up, the video. But when you look at it, like I said, I expect them to try to, when they get blowback for this, or when it goes wrong, and it will go wrong, they're going to say, well, we didn't plan this from go. This is just a response because Jeremy. There will be, you watch. When they got their blowback, they will try to say that they tried to shift gears in it. But unfortunately, it does look like the receipt there. Yeah, it connects the dots again from go.
that just oozes from these people. Now, we already knew this was a possibility going into court. We've already had plans for that. And we already figured they're going to try and transfer assets and things along those lines. Guys, the courts will reverse all of that financially. They will see right through it and reverse all of it financially. Look at that. What are you thinking for the business?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the business.
Hiding money.
The B&B one.
Yeah, the B&B business. Yeah. By the way, if you wanna book on the B&B, there's still some open. I think there's 2 open weeks in July. Don't worry, we got plenty of AC. And because I'd booked 1 week for friends. They were gonna have a getaway, and I was giving them a getaway for free. One of our set of friends up here in Ohio, and they're not able to actually make it now. So there's a full week that I know on the calendar is open right now, and anybody can book that. Speaking of books, dude, I don't know. Should I keep that or not?
I don't know. How big of a Glow Friends fan are you?
Well, Garbage Pail Kids would be up here. Glow Friends would be like down here. Like, oh,
What's below Glow Friends?
Indeed.
What now?
What's below Glow Friends?
Farts in a jar, which we are going to be selling on our auctions here. We're literally, Christian, we're actually selling yours as well. I didn't tell you yet, but
I don't know.
You got to start. You know all those mason jars that we find in stores?
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to start filling them.
Yeah, that's. I might have to just put the foot down, Jeremy. That's weird,
dude. Don't put the foot down on me. This was not my idea. It's George's and Deanna's idea, and they've come up with the whole thing. They have the jars already and everything. We are. I'm not joking. You think I'm joking right now? They are selling Jeremy, George, Deanna, Christian, Patience, Farts in a jar.
Yes.
Get on it, man. What makes you the gassiest?
That's crazy.
So yeah, you know, if you got to put your foot down, talk to George. Like, I don't want my gas in a jar. All right, we got porcelain baby dolls. Okay. Ah! At least it's not green. Interesting. Looks like we got different wigs in here for the babies. Look at that porcelain doll right there. Not bad. Not bad. Here, real quick. So just so I understand, you're against jarring your gas.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that they can keep a good sense of humor there with everything that's going on.
Is it?
Oh my God! Yeah.
For
So,
you, I ain't gonna talk to her about it. That's you. This is not my idea. This is all that the huge.
I cannot imagine, honestly. Again, imagine this insanity. Like I've seen dedicated campaigns to canceling somebody online. You know, it has an air of it being removed. Again, I've seen them trying to weaponize governmental services and all kinds of stuff aimed there, but it's still, there's a removal because it happens day to day, but still there is a disconnect because it comes from people online. This is connected in real life. I've never seen anything that is this egregious. And, you know, typically when somebody is told to cease and desist, they may not back off, but they don't recruit people. When you have protective orders, you don't usually see third-party recruitment to this level. And some of these people, again, people with horrendous records, they've done some pretty horrible shit. And they just keep coming in. It's something. So, I mean, to be able to maintain a sense of humor, some days I wonder, like I said, I never would reach out to a person and be like, yo, are you doing okay? Like, for real? But I've done that in this. I try to maintain a certain type of disconnect. But in this, I feel like part of the plan was to break this guy and to break the people around him. So you try to make sure that does not happen. So maintaining humor, man. Like, props to him for being able to do that.
This crazy stuff is not my idea. It's George's. Everybody's like, Jeremy's so crazy. Really? Because most of the stuff isn't me. Most of it is George. Okay, let's see what we got down here. All right, so you're going, well, what does she own? You know, who are our other creditors? Well, from what I know from when she first moved in, she told George and I all the time, just, I have $1,300 in bills and I can't pay. She was begging, constantly begging. I can't pay. I have to pay for this camper and I have to pay for this car. Wow! You realize when you file Chapter 7, your debtors come and repo everything. Realize the camper is gone now. If the camper is going to be gone, look at that back right there. You see the back?
Yes, they will repo a lot of stuff. I mean,
so
that's
if the
true.
camper's gone, where's Crook? Where's Crook going to live? Since they live in separate
With your domicile, you know,
things is because of their government funding. If they live in the same house, then they have to go joint, and they don't. So they live in a shed, a flea license flustered shed with a child, which is filthy, and a camper to try and milk the system. Which hopefully somebody will catch that. Oh wait, we're going to be in bankruptcy court. Oh my goodness! I have a feeling a lot of this is going to be coming up in court, in a federal courtroom with a federal judge. How dumb can they be? And I was talking about Dodgy Robbie, who was saying, once I figure out who the lawyer is, my head is going to explode. The only thing that's making my head explode is how dumb this move is. They have opened the door, given me complete and total access to every penny in her life right now because I am one of her creditors. Like, how stupid could they be? She owes me money, court ordered. And now she's going to bankruptcy court. And guess who's not going to allow that to happen without getting paid? Yeah, that debt is not going away anywhere. So you got a whole block set right here. Now, do you think she listed me as one of her creditors? No. What do you think that is? Fraud on the court. Do you see the pattern here with these people? When you put known disciplined lawyers, LOL, you've got disbarred, you've got permanently retired to get away from being disbarred, you've got con men, you've got scammers, you've got felons, and they're scamming everybody and they're frauding everybody.
Well, here's a question too. So I'm actually reading through the bankruptcy filing, you know, what they present, and they talk about not being a full or part-time business. Now, if they are regularly running flea market and they make consistent profit, they keep trying to link it to the 501c3 as a way to say we're not making money. That way, you know, if they do it that way, they are trying to hide money to keep it off of, again, their benefits. I mean, that's the way, you know, again, they can say whatever they want on this and dispute what I'm saying. But the way I look at this is, again, they tell you all the time that they sell at the flea market. Their profits are tied to the 501c3. Again, trying to keep that off of there, right? But in reality, I mean, what it looks like they do is they run a part-time business. And that part-time business, they're just they're funneling the funds in a way that I would say is questionable about writing things off. You know, there's a lot of money that the way they're reporting it, it does feel like a house of cards that could really cause problems. Again, you know, when I say this, I want to make it clear. I'm not defending. I hate the fact that we have to give money to the man, you know, or any of that. So when I'm discussing this, I'm talking about this in a court proceeding aspect. You know, we fought a war about taxes, so I'm not thrilled about taxes, nor do I defend the practice of it. If you get by with the man, hey, that's your business. But on this kind of thing that they're doing here, they're opening themselves up where a guy, again, knows everything about them. They have thoroughly investigated all the practices that they're involved in, and the way they're presenting it again is kind of strange too. Do you own or have any property? Do you own or have any property that possesses an alleged or poses a threat of imminent and identifiable hazard to the public safety? Well, there are some blue buckets. Anyway, let's continue.
This is a good idea. When you listen to scammers, you typically get scammed. A, B, C. Oh, look at this, flashcards. B is for bear. What's C for?
Cat.
No, cat. What's E? What do you think E's for?
Elephant.
Yeah, you're probably right. Or egret. No, you're right. A, B, C, D, E. What's F for?
Fish.
Okay, let's find out. I'm going to say flea. And, oh, fire truck. By the way, somebody else conned Don the con out of a fire truck for $500, and now he's posting it in sites for 6,000 something. So ridiculous. Colorado. I mean, this is so ridiculous. So, moral of the story is this. Punitive damages don't go away for her at all. And probably, frankly, one of the best things they could have done, which it just blows my mind how they don't think, like they make so many mistakes. One of the best things they could have done is exactly what they did. They filed for bankruptcy, and they did not anticipate, and this is the most ridiculous part, they did not anticipate, I'm one of the creditors. I will be 100%.
That is amazing to me.
100% in that court, that bankruptcy court. That means depositions. That means going through all of her finances. That means this hasn't saved her from the insanity of people out there going, now Lynette is saved. Lynette is saved. No, they just added more.
They didn't just say that. They talked about, again, they sat down and conspired about it. Like, they break this news. Again, how can you say that you just report on something when you're out there, you fundraise for this shit? But you fundraise as, I'm getting a lawyer for Fed 1, Fed 2, all of that. Then you actually come back and say, no, I take that back. We were always going to go this way. This was the master plan. They always had this in there. They knew that was going to go. How can they say that they are not part of some kind of fucking working conspiracy? Again, I agree. Like they try to dismiss it as people communicating with one another is not a conspiracy. That's right. Just communicating with one another. You're allowed to have friends. You're allowed to talk to people. You're allowed to get to know people through cases, whatever. That does not a conspiracy make. You know, you can also reach out to people, get quotes from them, whatever. That does not a conspiracy make. When you go further, though, and you're actively helping to try to burn someone's life and livelihood down, that becomes something different. That's not just communicating via email or talking on the phone or whatever the fuck. When they're plotting about how you're hiding money. I mean, it is insane shit to watch. You've got to be able to prove that in a court. And it is hard to sometimes express what you're seeing in real life into a courtroom. So, you know, we'll see if you prove it. But my God, anybody watching this has to be like, you've got to be kidding me. Because they keep doing things. Like if I were being sued for millions of dollars, one thing I would not be doing is setting out there, coming up with new cons, thinking that's going to get me out of my shit. And they kept saying that they had some gigantic bombshell they were going to drop. The bombshell they were going to drop was this. This was their big penultimate plan. This. It wasn't the way they expressed it to the ecosystem viewership was that they had something amazing coming up, something that was going to destroy Jeremy Hale. This doesn't touch him. Listen to that. Here, let me take my headphones off. You hear that one? You should be. Maybe you can hear that. Those are crazy loud. They're just getting started tonight. Oh man, the neighbors around here, they spend buku money.
They added more massive problems for Lynette. Massive problems. For me, it's one of the greatest moves they could have made.
Yeah,
like,
that was loud.
I'm sitting there going, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah, exactly. It was loud.
We also thought they were going to move assets into other people's names. Of course, they're going to move assets into scammers' names. So they already
have assets in these people's names. That's the kicker there. The way that they're trying to play around with the $56,000. How can you say that they may make excuses and sell it to their audience? But how can you try to say that that is not money that was gathered for Lynette Preston, that it's supposed to still be there? The donors, they supposedly went in and they checked that out. So they say they're good to go with it. The money's supposed to still be there. All of it, by the way. I mean, it goes depending on the day. Some days they've almost spent all of it. Other days, it's all there. Well, you're going to have an accounting for it now. Also, I would be very curious. I would push for the idea that you actually have an accounting of how much money was gathered for these folks. You know, because it wasn't just one donation. It wasn't a couple of donations. Again, the over $56,000, I want to impress this fact among people. That was stated from one person. One donor out of how many? That's why I say over $100,000 is quite possible that's happened. You know, they quite possibly are looking at that much money that has shifted hands and is it's either been spent or it is sitting around in some people's bank accounts trying to hide it. And if they're trying that kind of stuff, if she has money that's coming in, or she has people that are slipping in dollar bills, y'all. That's a problem. That's a weird problem because she has access to money. But yeah, transfer, it does. From go, I've said that looks shady. Because otherwise, if that wasn't shady, if they weren't doing something shady, why doesn't LP have that money? Whether or not you think that she is the worst person for that doesn't matter. In fact, there have been people that have gone to jail for trying to. There was a homeless guy that people raised money in their net, and it went viral. And the person ended up getting buku money. Well, the people that put it together, they spent some of it, but on top of that, they were saying their defense was this person. They would just end up spending it all. You know, they couldn't be trusted with their money. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter. People didn't give those people that money. They donated it for these other folks. Not to use as you see fit. So it's a real problem there. You can also see the fraying effect too, where things in the ecosystem, you know, they're not as peaceful as they want to impress on folks. There are problems there as well. But anyway, let's continue.
The scammers are scamming the scammers, which they're all scammers. Look at that, man. And so we anticipated bankruptcy. We anticipated moving assets, which the courts will completely and totally reverse. Pokey little puppy. That's a nice little golden book right there. Oh, Betty Boop. Boop, 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 boop. So we've anticipated all of these things that they are currently doing. Wait, hold a second. I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Stay weird, right? Okay. No, I like this one better. Wait, is that an elephant? No, that's a rat.
I anticipated some crazy.
That's a rat.
But I didn't
Not
think they
putting
would
that
go
one.
to
I
the
don't
way
like
they
rat.
have. You
Lord
know,
knows I don't
so
like
flagrantly, I
the
suppose.
rat Cunningham. Check this out. I think that's a Webkins, right?
Maybe.
Maybe Gans. I
think-
thought
I
Gans
think you're
made Webkins.
I feel like you're right.
I know there's some Webkins that are worth a ton of money right now. Rare ones. Okay, let's see what else is in here. Okay, so I bet this is a bunch of nesting boxes. It is nesting box after nesting box after nesting box. I guess that's where it ends, huh?
Yep.
All right, that's where it ends right there. So we got another set of nesting boxes here. Looks like we're going to be in bankruptcy court, in federal court, in bankruptcy court, because they made one of the most foolish moves that I think anybody could have made in this situation. The only thing more, honestly, she would have been better off to just plead guilty and be done than the move they just made. She would have been better off, because now we have fraud on the court, multiple courts, fraud on the court.
Yeah, a lot. I mean,
it's mind-boggling,
flagrantly
mind-boggling, the
lied to the
stupidity
court.
and the foolishness of fleas going, ha ha ha, genius. Yeah, it was genius for us. Like, I can't even comprehend.
Okay, so
oh, you like
I
cats?
was going back and looking at some of the filings, by the way, just to know. So remember, we had a stay that was issued in May, right around the 13th. There was a stay that continued for 30 days so they could locate new counsel. Now, remember, they had a status update hearing on that. And after they had the status update hearing, they told the court that, and they have impressed that in documents too, on top of it, that they did have a lawyer coming and they needed more time. Remember, they went out of their way. They misrepresented that, and they have planned this all the time. That receipt that they showed, it looks very much like it connects with location and more. It showcases that the whole time they've been saying this, they were never planning to bring in a lawyer at all. This wasn't just some harebrained idea that came out of nowhere, and they decided to go with this. This was the plan from go. I don't know how, again, people have money raised, taken from them, and they just keep shoveling it out. And actually, it's gotten slower for them. It has. You know, you have their big donor that backs certain ones. And like I said, that's fine. There's specific ones. Although, interestingly, they brought up Ray, too. I thought that was really interesting because he spent a lot of time, Ray did, crapping on this guy. He spent a lot of time, said that he was the first one out of the ecosystem that I saw say that he would not give it. You know, he told them, don't give any money back to this guy. This guy's a piece of garbage. It was amazing. And they're like, well, he's going to give it to 3 people, actually. He's going to give it Stupa. He's going to give it to Storage, whatever the fuck his name is. And he's going to give it to Ray. I was like, Ray? Out of anybody, the guy, he dumped on him so much. He dumped on him as much or more than 2L did. I mean, that's amazing to me. Like you pray for the privilege of being spit on. So wow. I mean, it seems some kind of fetish if you actually back that. It's crazy.
I like cats.
Also, can Baby Pepper and Baby Salt get a kitty cat?
Oh man,
Sure.
Gotta get a drink.
So they can
of
get a
tons
kitty
much more.
cat, but not a dog?
I don't have to clean up the poop of a dog or a cat.
Yeah, but the cat has a litter box, and the litter box stinks like crazy. Where would you put the litter box?
I don't know, but my litter box never stunk.
Really?
Yeah, if you clean it.
Yeah, but that's probably because your mom is so good at cleaning. Did you clean it, or did your mom?
I did sometimes. My mom did it too.
That was like my mom,
I bet
man.
you-
Ooh.
Oh, look at that Wizard of Oz stickers. What year is that? 98. 98. Wow. Yeah, that's still, it's 25 years plus old.
Yeah, I saw a litter box on like the TikTok store.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, you know how you see those things when you go through something? You probably don't know, but
No, I don't. But I do.
It sucked me in. I watched it for like 20 minutes watching this litter box do its
Watching
thing.
a litter box?
Well, it was automatic. I was like, this is kind of crazy. I don't know why, but it was entertaining to me.
Coins of the Greek Republic State, 1992. Is that
Always like
Caesar?
coins.
Et tu Christian you? Look at that. Look at that. Wait, hold a second. There's more. Oh my goodness. What's that? Hela's coin collection, 1988.
Yep. I don't know what that is though.
I don't either,
Are there
but
more Greek coins? It looks like Greek.
looks Greek to me. It looks Greek. Does that tell us anything? For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. Okay, that's. I don't know that tells us anything. Okay.
It's in Greece. Yeah.
You guys want to sell this, or you want me to
It's
wait?
what, in the
until-
Balkans?
George is going to be back soon.
Then you save
We'll
it.
sell it on a Sunday night. live?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll save this for a Sunday night auction, and maybe I'll take that into bankruptcy court. What do you think?
Maybe you can pay off your.
Maybe. You never know. Chunky Pad, Shopkins. Dude, you remember when Shopkins were the thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't.
Nope.
Nope. You
Not at
don't.
all.
You don't.
Actually,
There's
my-
a chunky
my kids love
Shopkins
those things.
pad right there. All right, what else we got? More Shopkins. More Shopkins. 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 We can have a birthday party of just Shopkins right here. If you're indigent and you have nothing, why would you claim bankruptcy? I mean, that's a good question, don't you think, Christian?
Yeah.
Like, if you already have nothing, why would you declare bankruptcy?
They also say that they have 1 to 49 creditors. They make a few kind of interesting declarations. They also, as far as assets, they can't go with the 0 to whatever. They have to go from $50,000 to $100,000 in assets. So that's also a bit interesting. I do. Anytime I think about assets too, I got thinking the other day about Lloyd and the camper thing, and I hope Lloyd, God, I hope all that is in his rearview mirror, because I got thinking about how they wanted to take his camper for $1. You remember the whole discussion about that? They totally weren't going to do anything, but they wanted to tell everybody that they had a deal to get his camper for $1. They were going to pay. They were going to post that. They messaged him about it. I mean, just some of the most bizarre stuff. Anyway,
I think that's one of the things that the court is definitely going to ask. This is a sign that I should get Pepper a puppy.
creepy.
Don't you think?
It's gotta be a big dog.
That's
Actually, you ever seen the little dogs carrying around the
Oh
huge bones?
yeah, dragging on the
Yeah.
ground. They got it in their front mouth and it's dragging on the ground.
They're only running on their front feet.
Yeah, their front feet because it's so heavy, and the back feet are up in the air like. Yeah, I've seen that.
Somebody asked if 2L is
So
at
the question
Discovery.
is-
No, we aren't even close to that for them yet. Again, we're still in the trying to say, here's a case. Right now, 2L, they put in their motion to dismiss, which was a disaster. It was an absolute disaster because they responded to the wrong document. They responded because they don't keep up with the document. They don't read anything. And they admitted that. And instead of admitting it and saying, hey, I want to go in and refile, they were like, it's all Randy's fault. It's all his fault. So Randy has next week to respond to what they filed, which, I mean, a bunch of it was just flagrant bullshit. Again, she didn't, I mean, if she made a mistake in some, which she did, she said she did, but again, it has to all be Randy's fault. They can't just eat crap and be wrong. So we're not to the point though with Discovery anywhere near with any of them. We have, as far as Discovery, we had LP and JC not come off of anything whatsoever for Discovery. And they were supposed to make a filing that you had Randy put in a filing that was stating he wanted the court to force them to come off of Discovery. And they had so many days that they were allowed to respond in. That was what this lawyer should have been involved in. Instead of going the way that they've gone, you should have had that. And also, remember, they had their counterclaims issue. So you had their 3 counterclaims. This is just Fed 1 by itself. The 3 counterclaims, they've talked about dismissing them. But remember, if they're dismissed, they're not going to be able to bring this stuff again. This is it. So if it ends up getting knocked down, that's a problem for them. But if it stands, it's a problem for them too. Either way, this is their stand. This is it. They should have had a lawyer involved, but instead they decided to go with the bankruptcy thing. They raised money. They had enough money to at least temporarily get someone involved. But again, instead of doing that, they decided to go with yet another gimmick. They've never come up with anything for discovery. They've just flagrantly flaunted that too. You know, courts, they give a lot of latitude with that. They give a lot of latitude for people that are pro se, even though they're not supposed to. They do. But this move right here, again, any good faith that a court has, like, this is how you burn it out. And good, by the way, good. You know, if they've lied to degrees that just it's mind-boggling. But you can tell, again, they thanked BBB for this idea. So instead of learning from the mistake of, you know, and saying, maybe I don't want to go this way, they were like, no, you know what? I'm going to go this direction. Bunch of idiots, man.
Why file for bankruptcy and why didn't Crook? So here's the biggest thing. Why didn't Crook file for bankruptcy? Here's what I think is ultimately what they were going to attempt to do, which is not going to work. And they're going to find out real quick. And Lynette is the one that they threw under the bus to find it out with. They're going to find out real quick that they were going to have Lynette file for bankruptcy. Then somebody else, maybe it's Crook. Then somebody else.
They mentioned that.
Somebody else.
That was their plan.
And try and delay all the federal suits.
Yep.
Well, you'll find out real quick that ain't gonna fly. Real quick that isn't gonna fly.
It also it turns your life
doggy treat.
You don't want to haphazardly file bankruptcy because it has serious ramifications in your life. It does. You know, like I said, I've been there. I filed bankruptcy twice because of my father with sickness. And again, I do it in a heartbeat again. You know, there's no problem. If you have to file, you have to file. But yeah, we got to extend his life for a while, you know, but medical bills were crushing. But yeah, one of the problems with all of that is if you have any issues for, 7 or 8 years, you're pretty much screwed. So you're taking this method and you're hoping this delay tactic. It is not an answer. It is a delay tactic. You're hoping this delay tactic somehow benefits you. But that's all it is. Again, it's a delay tactic. It is not a fix. They are not able to kick the case to the curb. In fact, like I said, I think I see an issue in their approach that may be a huge glaring issue, but I'm not sure. I'll have to talk to a lawyer about it. When I talk to a lawyer about it afterwards, I'm going to see exactly what they have to say on it. But I think I see a glaring problem. And I love mentioning stuff like that too. I do see a problem there. I love mentioning it because they're too egotistical to admit that any of their stupid ass plans ever have problems. And you're like, hey, I think there's a bad one here. They will do anything but the right thing. And it's amazing.
Jar, and I still can't get Pepper a puppy. All right. Hey, I'm not going to go against what you say.
Although I will say, almost every family in our neighborhood has a dog.
Just saying. All right. Check this out. There's Walt Disney. So we believe we have believed that was what their plan was, to ultimately stall and delay. Now you have to ask yourself the question: why would anybody stall and delay if they're innocent? If these people are all innocent, they can't wait to be deposed. They're going to destroy me. They're going to destroy my.
That's what they say.
destroy us in court. They're gonna, and yet they dodge and they dodge and they hide and they hide and they dodge and they hide and they dodge and they hide and hide and they dodge. They're not innocent. Tell me you're guilty without telling me you're guilty.
Right.
I'm gonna go file for bankruptcy because I think it'll get me out of court. Like the insanity, the complete and total insanity, and people are still.
They did. If you don't remember that, by the way, and like I said, I hope some of the ecosystem listeners, they remember this too. They said that they were going to absolutely demolish Jeremy Hales. They all wanted to be involved in court. They wanted to be able to take the stand. They would destroy him. Remember, when they had their chance, they've had their chance to take the stand. All of them. And every one of these big talk, nobody losers, they all relent. That's what I love. They are paper tigers, you know. You think about that. I mean, you're paper tough. It's amazing. You hear the roar, but when something comes along, they just fold up, blow away.
Dumb enough to send them money. They are being frauded, and people are sending them money. Check that out right there. Floral scented notes. Oh, Raggedy Ann and Andy. Danielle Oatmeal. I already know who's buying that. Danielle Oatmeal. She sent a message. She's like, can you just hold them boxes? Just bill me. She's like, ship it and bill me. All right. We got some love notes right there. You get it? Love notes, and you write a note in there. You get it? That's a dad joke, dude. That's a more for
That's
oatmeal.
A funny joke, Joe.
Oh, this one actually is the little girl on the box. Okay. So if you're innocent, too soon. Wait, you know what that is? It's a magnifying glass. Can you see how big my finger is now?
Mm-hmm.
Here.
Look at those cuticles.
Yeah, check out that cuticle. You know what we should do? We should see if we can make my driveway bigger. Whoa, that's a big driveway. Dodo. All of you out there, don't worry. I still love dodos. I just don't say it because I got stalked and harassed. And so I still love all of God's animals, all of God's creatures. Whoa, what do we got here? We got the rock beat. The rock beat. The rock. Okay. Oh, here we go. On. And now what do we do?
Oh, it's like a drumstick?
Yeah, it's a drumstick. I think it's for playing air drums. We got to change the battery, though. I'm going to turn it on off. Okay. So these weirdos thinking they're going to get out of stuff, all they're doing is showing the courts, number one, their fraud, 95?
Yep.
And number two, their guilt.
Yeah.
You would have been better to just say, I'm guilty, and I think you put...
It'd have been better to shut
there
up.
You go. You put that plate on display.
Make a deal.
Right on there.
They should have played Let's Make a Deal with Hale.
Guilty and to accept the consequences. Now what they're doing is going to be found guilty on multiple more things and have way more consequences.
That would have been the smart.
Holy stamp collection. Is this in a Bible? Is that a Bible? That is Life Application Study Bible, NIV. And a stamp collection right there. Check that out. What's this? That is... What is it?
Something for stamps, maybe.
X-Files? X-Philania 2002. It's stamps. It's collectible stamps, whatever it is. Wow. Brand new Bible.
I want to read you something, by the way. Somebody sent this. If you want credit, by the way, take your bow. I know you're listening. But they sent an article called Defamation, Bankruptcy, and the First Amendment. And it's interesting. Right off the bat, it makes this point. Listen, in recent years, a series of high-profile defamation cases has wound up in bankruptcy court involving such colorful characters as Rudy Giuliani, Jones, Cardi B, etc., etc. As demands and verdicts swell with the rise of social media, polarized age, defamation defendants are filing bankruptcy more frequently and at earlier stages of litigation. But that doesn't mean bankruptcy is a magic wand for waving away debt. To the contrary, much defamation debt may be non-dischargeable as willful and malicious under Section 523 of the Bankruptcy Code. Of course, consumer bankruptcy attorneys are all too familiar with bankruptcy's discharge exceptions, but some courts are now starting to apply the exceptions to small businesses attempting to reorganize under certain subchapters. So it goes through. I mean, this is stuff that you'll find by looking up bankruptcy rules. a lot of the stuff, again, like I said, willful and malicious. That is one of the key portions of that. Trying to discharge under willful and malicious conduct. All these people, again, 2Ls and all these, they could have done everything they've done. Well, maybe not everything. They could have done 90% of what they've done. I was like, wait. They could have taken all the actions like fundraising endeavors. They could have talked about how they don't like Hales. They could have called them names. In fact, they could have gotten in a nice back and forth. It could have been nice and verbose. I think that exchange might have been funny to listen to, but instead of doing that, they decided to target businesses that would align with it. Any place he could sell at, anybody that talked about this that they don't like their opinions, because they don't agree with them anymore. Instead, they decided to go about it a different way. There is certain language. They'll even bring this up in some of their statements about, again, protected speech. And yes, you can call somebody a piece of garbage. You can say that they're an idiot. You can call them a clown. Some people don't seem to grasp that. But yes, you can. 100%. Protected speech with that. What you can't do is say that they're a PDF file. You can't go around peppering neighborhoods with signs and then being like, but I never did that. While at the same time admitting, oh, well, actually, he wrote the signs. I didn't do it. There's certain things you can't do. But you could have had the people that were covering and talking about that. They could have gotten involved. They could have taken a proactive stance. The only problem would have been they would have never gotten the amount of attention that they did. They would have never seen the amount of money that they saw without trying to proactively burn down this guy's life. Because most people get ignored, without forming the ecosystem. Most of these idiots by themselves, they don't even matter. Half of them, you notice until they do extreme shit, you stop talking about them. Like, look how many of them fade to the background. With the exception, like some people are just crazy when they ramble. So it's funny to laugh at Ray sometimes, right? I mean, that's funny. It's also 100% protected, but it's funny. And apparently you become the Sodom and Gomorrah of YouTube for it, and the Antichrist, according to them. Listen to those fireworks, man. It's crazy. But they could have done all of that. But instead, they decided to go and to try to wreck a business. And we'll see how Accord, again, they see that. But with the LP and JC, regardless of what happens to these ecosystem conspirators out there, it's decided. Fed case 1 is in a bad way for those people. We are looking at a trial looming. There has been a discussion that it is going to go forward. They are now, again, they know it's coming, so they've tried to delay it again. The judge has said, I don't want any more delays. The judge also gave them plenty of time to get a lawyer, and they said, yeah, we got one. I really want to see a reaction to that. I can't wait to see a filing talking about fraud on the court. That's going to be amazing to read.
There's a couple more things down here.
It's almost done, by the way.
There's a couple more things. What's
that will be an amazing
1967. No way. Yes way. Dude, we got to take this out and see what this is. Check this. Are these iron transfers, tattoos, stamps? What are they? Picture transfers. Love God, tell the truth. You know what? And here's the reality. If these fools would have just loved God, right? They would have loved God. They would have sung his praises. Thank God for what they have. Not stalk people and try to get more. Absolutely. Tell the truth and not lie. Be happy. Obey. Help others instead of constantly scamming, constantly defaming, constantly trying to destroy people who are successful. They wouldn't be in this situation. But now they are, and they've dug the hole. And
deeper for themselves.
What a bunch of idiots, man. So, again, you got some commentary on there. I actually think that Jeremy is quite onto something with a bunch of it. But I could not, I thought for real, I thought that this move was fake. I did not think that they had actually gone out and filed bankruptcy. I was stunned to find out that this was real. I was. It's one of the dumbest moves. I anticipated some stupid, of course, but I didn't anticipate it to that level. Again, it opens up all their finances. God, it's so funny too, because they keep complaining. They keep saying, that they're going to stop talking in chats. And you still see like LMNOP popping up in chats too. I haven't seen one again, but once I see it, I'm pretty sure I'm going to rage out of my mind. Oh my God. What fucking nuts, man. What nuts. Look at these people, man. All the time. Always looking for some reason to fixate. They are fixated on Hales. They run a business, anti-Hales business. I very well believe that. It is interesting to see it framed as such. But I was going through, I think lips again. What kind of statement is this, by the way? Explain this to me. What's up, kiddo? What you doing? You hear all the fireworks?
Yeah, I heard them and I opened your door so you can hear them much
Yeah,
more.
I hear them. You can see them at your window if you want to look.
I see it in the window, every window.
Well, when it gets a little bit,
window.
when it gets a little bit later, we'll go outside and look at them because they're going to get crazier soon.
But can we do some too?
I'll see. I'll think about it.
I will
Okay?
be super good. I won't put my hand or I will be
Well,
super good.
I'll think about it.
I
I'll
will
think about
drop any on the floor.
You don't have to worry about dropping on the floor. We're not going to do them inside the house. Yeah, that would be crazy, right? Yeah. Hey, no, don't hide over there. Hey, you're gonna knock that over. Yeah, what's up?
See that side right there on the wall right here?
Huh? Am I still? Yeah, I'm still alive. What's up?
Hey, Dad.
To the commenter that said I should get a hissing roach, I have 4.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to multiply because Dad decided to get me a female roach. And I have 3 males.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, you got
Hey, Dad.
4.
And now I'm probably going to have 5 million. And it's all his
Madagascar.
fault.
Hey, Dad, do you see the spider on this top of the
I
wall?
do.
You're going
I
to
see
pay
that
me
spider.
child support.
You're a nut.
I'm going to say hello to you because
Roach child support.
You are such a nut.
everyone,
Yeah,
if
she
you
got
have
it.
a pink toe spider, just tell me because I have one too.
Yes,
Yeah.
the little one here has
But
a pink toe
the-
spider too.
But
Yeah.
the thing is that I was going to the pet store because Dad let me come with him. Yay!
Yeah, I had to get.
And
I had to get crickets.
yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should get some mealworms because I haven't been able to find that many beetles outside, even though it's the middle of summer
Right.
where I live. And it makes me bad because where are the beetles hiding?
I know. They've been hiding pretty well. Well, they should be out. Like pretty soon we'll be able to find more. It's
Yeah.
been hot enough. But anyway.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna just get some mealworms to grow in the little beetles.
Hey,
Because I was bored.
Yeah.
this
And
is Sissy's food that Sissy made.
Oh, she made some potatoes.
Potato triangles.
Are they good?
No.
yeah, they're really good. I tried
Good
some.
deal.
And the thing is, I winged the recipe, but that's not the point.
Anyway, the point.
And Dad said, oh my God, they have hissing roaches here. Do you want some? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And I got 2 males. And Dad decided to surprise me with a female and a male. And I have yet to name the female.
Yeah.
I named the male as Speedy, Squeaky, and Helium.
Hey, Dad.
That's funny.
I
So
need my pink side of popcorn.
But I have no idea what to name the female.
The second name is popcorn.
No freaking idea.
Let me
Oh
talk.
yeah, look. Did you see? I'm glad you reminded me of Patricia the pink toe spider. Look, somebody sent that picture. Look at that.
Thank
It's a
you,
pink toe
Maddie.
spider. Isn't that cute?
And I have literally no idea what to name
Let
her,
me
like,
talk.
like
like
at
that
all.
there.
Let me talk. I know the secretary. The second
Can
name.
somebody with the most
Let her talk for a minute. But you know,
The second name from my side was popcorn, and the first name is Cookie.
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 Now it's Cookie. I thought it was Patricia. Remember?
It's Patricia. She's just being silly.
Yeah, well, it's actually Cookie, the third name.
Third name. So it's Patricia Popcorn Cookie. Okay, man.
I am.
Yeah, we're getting lower on spiders before GTA 6.
Yeah.
Oh man, best friend for life said, "Should we tell you that most of the beetles are dead?" There's been a beetle extinction event. Did you know that?
Seriously?
Oh yes.
I know about that sick.
Oh yeah, but I know the singer of the Beatles are probably dead. I don't
Jingle
listen to them
bells,
that much.
jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Can somebody
Have
with the
some
most
fun.
Why are we singing?
unhinged username come up in the chat?
Hey,
Jingle
by the way,
bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Have some fun. We're so excited. Hey,
you be bust that song, aren't you? That was nice. Look at Cher. Can you say thank you, Cher?
thank you.
They sent you candy money and cricket money. Oh, you like to? Do you like eating crickets or candy? I forget.
But
Candy.
can
Oh.
somebody with the most unhinged username, the most toe curling, jaw dropping, universe
That's
hopping
funny, Mr.
username,
Sloan.
come up in the chat? Because if I don't get a name in 5 seconds, I'm
5
going
seconds.
to start pulling blanks from the chat to name my roach.
So
And
you
the
just
roach
wanna-
will come after you.
You just wanted having random names.
Yes, I need the most jaw-dropping, toe
Let's
curling,
see,
universe-hopping username ever.
Prissy Hissy. That's funny.
Why would I name her that?
That's funny. I like that. Morgana. Let's see. Rumi. Priscilla. Oh my God. There's all kinds of names. I like Prissy Hissy. I thought that was funny. That's actually really
I
good.
try bite.
Fia.
I
Squash.
try bite.
Oh,
No, I'm not naming my roach Squash. You know what? If you
Jabba.
come up in
Hey,
the
eat
chat
this.
and say
Jabba the
anything like
Mutt.
that,
Eat.
Why are you
Eat,
trying to get?
eat.
I can't eat that right in this minute. Don't try to feed me while I'm on this. Anyway, I need to go through super chats, kids.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, you want to say thank you to Andre?
Thank you, Andre.
Yeah, Andre said, how much is that audio?
$2.
$2.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean potatoes.
I'm gonna name her Prissy Hissy then, because that's the best name I found.
Emma emailed a picture of a Brazilian jewel tarantula. Show it to you to see if you want. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Look at that. That's cute. Look at that. That's
It's a
pretty-
blue pink toe.
Yes, apparently.
It's a blue toe.
It's a blue pink toe.
It's a blue toe.
It's a blue toe.
It's a blue toe.
It can't be called a pink toe if it's not.
Yeah,
its
if it's
toes
not
are
pink, that's true.
So we call it a
Also-
blue toe.
Hey, here's Mary. How much is that?
$10.
$10. Can you say thank you, Mary?
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
It's for
Hey, everyone, I like squash.
oh man, for the tea and everything. Man, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So you guys, yeah.
So
I like squash,
since-
everyone.
Oh my gosh.
You like
Everyone,
what?
I like squash.
So can somebody make fan art of my roach, Prissy Hissy, aka Hissy?
Make fan art of it.
Yeah, like they make fan art of her spider.
Oh my god.
It's unfair if the other female doesn't get some fan art.
Let's just make a cartoon that is cute of a.
Can you make a cartoon of my pink
You
toe
spelled it
spider?
wrong.
Who cares? I don't know what I'm talking about. There's how much is that?
$10.
$10.
Yeah.
Can you say
Can you
thank?
make it one of my
Thanks,
pink toe
dude.
cider?
Yeah, they did. That was the when that cute one there.
Yeah,
So,
but no one what that looks like is walking.
oh well, let's see. Can you say thank you, Sister Sal?
Thank you, Sister Well.
Yeah, and the thing is, you want to know how I know it's female? Because she looks so drastically different.
There's Jack's mom said, "Got you covered." By the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
Hey, it's going in.
Can you say? Thank you, best friends for life.
Thank you, best friends.
They
How-
said,
how
"Oh, that's
dare
the
you.
bug squash fund."
How dare you? How absolutely
Hey,
dare
look.
you?
Can you
Look,
put
look,
one of
there's a
my
cute little
Tito's
one.
cider walk in?
Making it walk? Yeah, probably. I'm sure I can make one of it.
Yeah,
walking.
and the thing is, like, my roach, she's the boss of this. Cause you want to know something?
What's that?
Like, I was watching my roaches very intently because I have nothing else to do. I am unemployed in 11.
You're unemployed in 11. Oh my lord.
And I was bored, and I was like, eh.
I'm unemployed in 11. Yeah.
And, like,
I need
I
to walk in.
got
I'm working on it.
really bored. And so I just watched my roaches very intently. And I saw Hissy go up to one of the male roaches, but instead of them mating, she just
Yeah, they just chill.
like she put one of her little like things on its head to like crawl on top of it, and when it hissed, like she got mad. She got mad.
I thought
Why
they were,
did
aren't they
get
communal?
she mad?
What?
Aren't they communal?
Hey,
Yeah,
Robin.
but she got mad when he hissed because she's trying to crawl on top of him.
Okay. Look,
I
I'm
think
gonna
it
make
was
your
Speedy.
I'm gonna make your little
And
the
she
cute
just
spider
stormed
walk,
away.
and then you all are gonna have to let me hit these.
I need to watch my mouth. No.
Yeah, Rachel said that you definitely take after me, no question. What was that? Oh, did I scare you when I dropped my phone?
Yes.
You heard her go, "Oh, that was because I dropped my phone, but I caught it."
Yeah, and
Hey, there's Craig. Can you say thank you, Craig?
Thank you, Claire.
How much is that?
$10.
That's for for the fun when they get loose.
they are not gonna get loose.
Watch it.
There, look, there's it talking and moving. How's that look?
Much more better.
That is a strange looking little. Check this out. So we got sent. Here's that, by the way. Let me pull this up. I'll show you what we were making. 1 minute. So we made the little Patricia the spider. I actually made it move for her. She was asking me if I could make it move. So look at this. It's cute. It's a Muppet, you know.
A Muppet is.
It's a Muppet picture. So check this out. Here's Patricia.
Look, watch it. Watch it, sissy.
Turn on. Look at that. Look, it's speaking. And it's going on a walk now.
24 hours to go. I wanna be sedated.
I like that.
Oh, look. For $20.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Also, guys, these
He
are
said thank you. That's
Madagascar.
from Joan.
Thank you, John. But guys, these are Madagascar hissing roaches, not cockroaches.
Yes, that's a big difference. That is
Yeah,
true.
it's a big difference.
Yes,
Because
it's a
cockroaches
big
bite. The
They were
hissing
also-
roaches only eat fruit.
Yes, they were also very disgusting. Well, you know, cockroaches.
Yeah, cockroaches are pests. Madagascar hissing roaches are just chill pets.
You see
that
them
are
in you see them in movies and stuff. People see them all the time, but they don't know what they are. All right, hey, y'all need to go upstairs
Also,
for a minute.
if any of you say anything about squashing my pet bug, I will
Alright.
send a bunch of flesh-eating cockroaches to your house. And and you will
If
be
you talk
jumped by
about my
flesh-eating
Cyber
cockroaches.
Willy, if you talk about my Cyber Willy, I will go on a 10 million sideways off eBay,
Yeah.
and I'll send it to your house.
You are such a nut. All right, hey, close the door, okay, kiddos? Let me go through these. They're like a store brother. You know what really makes me laugh? You can hear when they're both down here. You can hear the oldest when the little one, you know, would just butt in any time because otherwise she'll get spoke over. You know, she always will have somebody speak over her. So, you know, she gets to where she interrupts, and you can hear the oldest. She'll be like, oh, "Gosh, sheesh," you know. I don't know. I just get laughing sometimes with that. It cracks me up. Hey, Terry, by the way, I was lost. I didn't know the fleas were on that. Remember, it's Rumble, RUMBLE. It says Brumble. Maybe that's a typo, but it's Rumble. Yeah, they ended up getting struck for something. I'm not sure what. Hold on one second. See, these people call for open flagging. of channels like mine and other people. I have not indicated that. The only person I told that would get flagged down is Paint Chips, because he kept putting up that prawn, and it showcases again that these people, they do nothing but target and harass. So I ended up, instead of removing it, I ended up losing a channel over it. Now, again, he may open 100 channels as freaking a harassment technique, but all that proves is that they are indeed harassers. So that was the one that I can say I discussed there. But as far as other ones, I don't make it a habit of talking about flagging channels, so I'm not sure what the hit. I'm sure it was probably warranted, as many times as they've targeted Hales, especially. I mean, again, with some of the stuff they've done, I'm surprised they hadn't been hit before. In fact, I would say what should really make them pause and consider. They blame Jeremy Hales for the hit. Now, again, I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if that is true or not. I've not asked about it. But if that was the case, and he could do that easily, and he just went out and hit that channel, just like bam, and that's it, they should ask why didn't that happen sooner? Because they've done quite a bit. And if they ask that question, maybe it's not that they're good at skirting TOS, because they're definitely not. Maybe it's because the stuff that they keep talking about, it's more helpful than it is not helpful. Maybe that was a reminder. Hey, yeah, you guys are crazy. And channel hits. Also, Lips. I think Lips got hit. These people keep bringing on, again, I'm going to make this clear. Like Paint Chips is banned, not channel banned. When you're banned, you are banned. Not just a channel, but you. So when they bring them on as guests and stuff, again, they open their channels up for not just getting a hit, but for getting banned, because that is ban evasion. Being a co-host on a channel or anything, that is ban evasion. And look how long, I mean, when YouTube, interestingly, when he put up all that, what video I'm talking about. When he put it up, it got taken down. He got 3 times that it got taken down before that channel was taken down. So it's not like he wasn't told there was a problem. It was hit, taken down, it was put back up, hit, and so on. So they can't just, they decry, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. But they had warning. YouTube warned them and warned them again, which usually they don't. Now they continue when they get hit, they like to point the finger and shit and be like, oh, those people, no, they did it. They did it. Anyway, let's hit some super chats. Mostly harmless fuzzball. Loving the name, by the way. Here's to Jeremy one day celebrating his independence from LMNOP and the rest of the ecosystem. Indeed, one day for sure. The delay tactics, I don't see this stuff wrapping up this year. I have no idea how long it can go, but the way that they're delaying, I see it dragging out into next year for sure. And God knows. I mean, honestly, courts are slow. Justice is slow. But LMNOP has been hit, like in Ohio, with protective orders and stuff. Well, we'll see. Sooner or later, what's going to happen is, again, they get so flagrant that she's going to put herself in jail with some of this stuff. They don't watch it. Mary, what's up, Mary? Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Thank you, Mary. You're much appreciated. Fallen Hero, thank you for that gifted membership, by the way. Thank you very much on that, too. Appreciate you. Green Veggie, check my email. There's, I looked in with the stuff for, man, those are some loud fireworks. I looked into everything with, I got bankruptcy emails and stuff like that. So, if that's what you're talking about with it too, that is weird. By the way, the signature on debtor 1 for LMNOP. That does not look like your signature. We've seen it enough. That is weird. Thank you, Green Babies. Hopefully I hit what you sent. If I didn't, let me know. Just bump it up. Max Lab, thanks for the 2. So crazy I sent you the yeah, we saw that case info. That's crazy. And I'm sure there will be much more on that too, Max Lab. And again, props, Max Lab. Appreciate you, brother. Cat, thanks for the 33 months. 33 months, baby. Thank you. And happy 4th of July to you as well. Love to everybody. Especially I do love to give props, not just to folks out there doing your thing, but especially like to veterans and the families of veterans. You know, we have vets, we have active service enlistees in the family as well. And the families go through a lot. So love to you guys. Much appreciated. And everybody's thoughts. AJ, thanks for the 2 there. I sent 2 emails last night. Did you get them? Maybe I don't know. Like, let me check. I'll have to go back through. Just bump one of them up again. I probably did, but when you ask, like, I can't remember what they are. That's the issue. I cannot remember exactly what they are because, like I said, I get inundated with emails, and I can't remember what belongs to who sometimes. So I probably did see it, but just in case, you'll have to refresh me on what exactly is there. Give me a second too. I need to look at spam real quick and make sure nobody's going to spam either. What in the world? Man, you know what's funny? You know things are going bad. You know how I can tell that things are going bad in the ecosystem right now? Because the idiots that write all the moronic articles, you know, the two simpletons that they brought in for disruption. Yeah, they don't send them out every day like they were. They don't get the clicks like they were. I saw them trying to be disruptive over in the quote unquote fan group. All that does is prove that Jeremy Hales doesn't run it, you know. So good luck with that too. You know, their whole idea of we're going to sue and say this has connection to him. Yeah, they just prove over and over it doesn't. So fun times there. Frankie dropped 10 gifted memberships, by the way. Thank you, Frankie. That's much appreciated. I love watching the gifted memberships fall in. You know, that one, I saw those come in. I got to see them all today. Sometimes I don't, you know, I get distracted or I'm reading something. But today I got to watch the chat a little more. So I appreciate it. Andre, thanks for the 2. Happy 4th to American friends. Indeed. Indeed. We have some craziness out there on these days, like I said. So people, enjoy your day, but be safe. Andre, thanks for the 5 months. Hales haters, the misfits, swinging in shadows and cord. That's true. Their eco rants crumbling faster than poorly planned protests in federal judges' chambers. Indeed, why would you plan the way that they did that stuff? Hey, Max Lab, thank you for the docs. I did check those out. I was reading through. I'd have to redact certain things. That's why I didn't bring up specific documentation. A lot of this stuff, again, I'm a lot nicer than a lot of them are. Like I try not to bring up anything that I think is sensitive. You know, I realize that you're in court. I realize it's part of something, but I do try to avoid sensitive materials. Now they don't, you know, if they have like an item that they think they could hurt Hales or talk about a business or anything, you notice they go full bore at it. They try to do harm and it's nasty business, but yeah, I've got to redact a bunch of stuff off of that. I'm not sure. I'll have to look through it and see too if there's anything in that paperwork that I think there's probably something in there that's interesting enough to mention, but I don't think all the paperwork is worth reviewing. I guess is the best way to go, you know, publicly. Rusty Ray Hips, thanks for the 5. Not only do they have to show the judge the money, yes, that's right, prove all the spending they do from here forward. Whoops, yes, they have opened. That's exactly it. Like they have to showcase where money and where money is going. They can't play the whole thing again. It'll be an interesting argument for them to try to say, That 56K doesn't exist. And I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure they did not disclose. Maybe that's why, actually, maybe that is why there's $6,000 to a bankruptcy person. Maybe that's why. Because this is not going to be a simple case of just, oops, there he goes. So I do wonder what exactly they represented to that person. I have to say, by the way, this is random, but back in the day, have you all ever heard of, so the first adult humor, which was, when I say adult humor, I'm talking about something you and I could probably laugh about, like jokes meant for business people. Have you ever seen the coloring book called the Executive Coloring Book? It's like a, I don't know, it's really funny. I want another copy of one of those. I haven't seen one in forever. I was looking online and I was thinking about trying to hunt one down. I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen one in a long time, but you should look it up. If you've never seen one, that's random, I know, but the Hale's discussions on everything like they were bringing up for auction got me thinking about it. They're really funny though. It's like, it was made in the 1960s, you know, but it was making fun of like a business culture. Let me see. Here, let me show you a couple of these. I like some of them. I think they're funny. Let me pull up a couple of these real quick. 1 second. So this is one of the first types of coloring books that is all here, you know. Here's all of the people, you know, on the train. It takes me to the office every day. You meet lots of interesting people on the train. Color them all gray. I love it. You know, we're so individual. We're all the same. This is my pill. It's round pink. It makes me not care. You know, this is my desk. It's mahogany. Important people have mahogany desks. The walls are mahogany too. I wish I were mahogany. This is my suit. Color it gray or I'll lose my job. I love it. Like that, you know, again, I just didn't think it's funny, especially from the 1960s. I want to get another one of those. Lorraine, thanks for the two. I see dead beads. I like that. I see dead beads. You're my Roman candle tug. Love it. That's funny. I see dead beads. I can hear it. That is beautiful. You did a great job with that. AKA the cat lady. Thanks for the year there, by the way. Appreciate it. Can you explain how this is going to work and what you anticipate happening? I don't quite understand, other than Jeremy is a creditor. What they tried to do, I don't know what's in their brain about how this plays out. But this is a delay tactic. Now, I don't know if they think that they're going to be able to flush costs that have come up, but that's not really going to work out for them, you know? Like LMNOP, all this would do is delay the case. She's not going to be able to scrub out the money that she owes because of protective order. You know, again, there's two qualifying things that you need to remember. It's when somebody did something, was it willful and malicious? Yes, violating protective order is malicious behavior. So I don't see them discharging that money. You know, and in fact, if somebody comes in and tries to pay off that's its own can of worms. That's why nobody has paid those debts off, because that is a huge problem if somebody steps forward and tries to pay that. It's not like trying to hire a lawyer or something. But I mean, the way they talk, I think they thought this is somehow going to get her out of everything because it's going to wipe away debts. Well, first of all, this is an active case. If you thought that, why the fuck would you file this before it's done? If you thought it could knock out any costs, why would you do it now? The only thing I can think of that anybody with half a brain would say this is some kind of delay tactic. Now, it's a dumb delay tactic. It is a dumb delay tactic, but it looks like, that's the only way it would work. Delay. And it may not even delay. You know, you get a couple of months reprieve maybe from it. That's that. But meanwhile, They have burned their donors. They have burned the court. Like the cost of it. What this tells you is that people are very desperate. It looks like a Hail Mary just to kick the can down the road. It looks like the same kind of garbage that we see from Stark, only with a different face on it. You know, we just got a delay thing. So I mean, I'm not sure there is any other thing that would make that work out. It's a stupid idea. Oh. Melissa pointed out the date being 7/28/2025 on the bankruptcy paperwork. Guess we're in the future. I haven't even looked at the date on that. That's funny. I need to look at that. It's possible. You know, they screw up so many things on paperwork and stuff too. Let me see. I'm looking at the paperwork here. I'm fast forward. Click. I mean, for the filing itself, though, what really matters is, yeah, I see that it is executed on 7/25. That is true. There it is. I see that. That's funny. So yeah, if you go to the second to last page, I'm going to zoom in on that part real quick. Look at that. Executed on 7/28/2025. Yeah, yes. Blast from the future. Oh Lord. You know what's really telling though? Under what they signed. Check this out. That signature is definitely not. That is not the signature I've seen many a time, you know? If you look at it, that's definitely not that signature we've seen over and over again, is it? But read this part. I've examined this petition and I declare under penalty of perjury that the information provided is true and correct. If I have chosen to file in Chapter 7, I am aware I may proceed if eligible under da-da-da-da-da. I understand, blah, 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 blah. I understand making a false statement, concealing property, or obtaining money or property by fraud in connection with bankruptcy case can result in fines up to $250,000, imprisonment up to 20 years, or both. That's the kicker right there. They are playing around with, this isn't Jeremy Hales that if they don't turn over and admit to everything, they're not fucking around trying to conceal things from Jeremy Hales. They are trying to conceal it from the Fed when they do that. So that's where you have real problems. Because you're talking about the potential for huge, huge hits. I hope that with AKA the cat lady, I hope some of that makes sense. Again, when I'm looking at this, it's just another delay tactic ultimately, but it is a huge screw up because again, with him being a creditor, that opens up a lot of stuff they didn't want to turn over. No, whoopsie. And then all the questions come up about, wait a minute. You don't have money? Huh? Well, about that. Doreen thinks about it. Not only that, there's money owed in the thumbnail case. Yeah, we haven't even gotten to we've got the thumbnail case that I think they're going to have a problem with, for sure. We also have the case with Madam Mayor. That's true too. Again, that would be willful. God, I mean, she's looking at, what they're looking at. They're trying to look at a way to slip out of this because LP and JC, they screwed up bad. Like they've got to know that listening to these morons have their decisions are their own. I do not want to take away from them. But in listening to these morons, it has just made it worse. Where they were idiots on their own, they have epic failed with these other folks. So yes, you're right. Tracy dropped 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Tracy. Very much so. Much appreciated. I cannot say that enough too. Thank you all that do gifted memberships. That is so. Again, I love looking at the chat, seeing everybody. Again, it makes everybody part of it, and it highlights you are the channel. So I love that. T's T, thank 20 gifted members. That's amazing. Thank you, T's T. That is very appreciated. You folks, you Frankie, again, dropping them out there. That, like I said, that's awesome. Razilla, thanks for the 2 there. Have you got an alternate sexy toast animations? I've got nothing with song or music. I've never put anything back together with it. Hey kiddo, give me a hug. Come here. Give me a hug. Give me a kiss.
Can I give you a lot of hugs?
You can give me 3 hugs. Give me 3. 1, 2, 3.
What about 10?
10. All right. 4, 5.
No, you're supposed to go 1, 2.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, you count them. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
9. Where's 9?
9 and 10.
Oh, did you get tickled while you were doing it? Do you have trouble concentrating?
No, stop tickling.
All right, you make it so much you do. Mwah. Not, here.
1, 2.
Not 10. You're gonna get the whiskers on my face. Here, let me get through these so we can go look at the fireworks and stuff.
And we can do 5 more.
Yeah, well, you gotta let me get through stuff, or we're not gonna be able to do anything. Yeah. Take your lip glosses upstairs before they get lost down here. That's true.
I love you.
I love you too, baby. But for the toast there, I don't think I have any other animations that I've put together. I never really have messed with it and taken the song on that too. I always loved that song. So that thing's just stuck around forever. Navy vet, lumps are broken. Thanks for the 10 there. So what's Scam's going to try next? Guaranteed Jeremy is going to fall for it. I have no idea, honestly. They don't have any lines. So, and they don't make good decisions. So when they try a thing, I have no clue. The thing is, I keep thinking, what are they going to try to raise money for donos with next? What's going to be the new cause that they try to present? I thought it was going to be the what's her name, the lady they say, oh, she had the depending on the day, heart attack or stroke. Mary, I think it was. I thought she was the brand new cause, but they got called out for that so hard, they kind of backed off. And you notice the talking point of her just went away, by the way. Woof. She was no longer a talking point after, but I thought that she was going to be the new one. Emma, thanks for the 5 there. Just when I thought they can't possibly get any more stupid, they go and prove me wrong. Indeed, they'll literally never learn. No. They don't. And it's amazing. I mean, lucky for Jeremy, they also admit, they remind me of idiots. There's the spoof movies where idiots monologue about their crimes. I mean, we're not talking about a real movie where you have bad guys that monologue, but the ones that make fun of the monologuing. That's what they remind me of, because everything they do, they come out and they try to make it sound like some huge own. And you notice how many of them just backfire. It's amazing. What's up, Liz, by the way? I hope you're doing good, Liz. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Like I said, appreciate you, Liz. It's good to see you. Rick, what's up? Thanks for the 2. Bug is strong. Lots of big booms. Indeed. Yeah, she's at the place where she wants to try out sparklers. Last year we had some sparklers. You know how that little sparks will pop off, and a spark tapped her on the finger and she was like, "You got me," but I powered through it. So this year she's like, "I'm gonna power through it and show you again I'm a big kid." So I guess we're gonna sparkle her up again. They can watch like the crazy with all the other stuff. You can hear the neighbors. If you want to see a fireworks show for the next 3 days, the neighbors are they blow up thousands of dollars. I spend a little bit for the kids and stuff, but I don't like getting insane with expenditure on fireworks. Fireworks are insanely high, and I would rather put that into something that works for the kids, like books, or something that helps them learn or they can enjoy, So we do a little bit of firework, but I try not to get extravagant and insane about it. I again, maybe that's a little spendthrifty, but I don't think that teaches the kids a responsible way. You do it responsibly, you enjoy it, but let the neighbors will also, if they, like with the older one, if she wants to light something, like, they'd let her. So, I mean, they're nice people. So it's fun too. Sister Sal, thanks for the 10 gifted membership. Thank you, Sister Sal. That is awesome of you. That is much appreciated. Thank you. Because I love the gifted membership, so thank you. Lizard King, thanks for the 2 there. So many folks, so few brain cells, fighting hard for last place. That's true. That is the best way to look at it. It really is. It is a dive toward the bottom, isn't it? It's like, who can actually smack their face on the bottom of the swimming pool? It is really a fight for last place. It's amazing. Rusty Reyes, thanks for the 5. Don't forget the judge putting out a plea. Yes, for sure. For her to get a pro bono attorney, I'm going to be happy. No, I mean, he went out of his way. Like I said, I think he went far enough with the pro bono thing that he created an appealable error. Like doing that and it not being something that you typically do, I think that showcased bias. And then for her to spit in their face after that is amazing. You talk about, she has had every opportunity given to her by this judge to look like the victim. Instead, she has taken any goodwill the court has shown her, and she is just like she's done with so many other people. These people spit in the face of folks that show them goodwill. They have had goodwill showcased to them by mega donors out there, by an audience. I mean, if they burn it, they set it on fire. So you're right there. By the way, Cynic in Chief, like I said, I did get your email, but I'm curious. You said I did a little research. I did get earlier emails. I'll go back and see if I missed something, though, just to say, But I did get other ones. I like getting stuff like that too, because it goes over ideas I might not have had. I like law theory, so I appreciate that too. It's actually interesting reading like that. Bunch of rockin' stone. I'm screaming, "What's in the box?" Indeed. Rozilla's Rail, thanks for the 5. Even if it had took the little blue pills, it wouldn't stand to be ignored. That's hilarious. That's good. Mario, thanks for the 5. How many grown-ass men and women involved in this? And no one knows what they're doing. Just like that, how many lawyers, it doesn't matter how they met the end of their careers, where they're at right now, how many lawyers are involved that are telling these people, do this, do that, do this, do that? And how many of them, their plan is to try to, again, they admit publicly that they tried to screw Jeremy Hales over at any opportunity. By the way, I don't understand. Let me pull up another quote I saw. Give me a minute. I saw something that I was like, what is that supposed to say? Read this. Like this is so bizarre. So here's Lips over there too. My husband who holds his license in federal and state court, and me who is retired, who held my license in both courts. What? What? How are you holding your license and you're what? Are laughing because we're going to get the bonds for him. Their plan, by the way, if the charges don't get dismissed, so now they're thinking that charges they might not get dismissed. This is kind of getting more interesting because now you have the ecosystem admitting, well, maybe it's not going to be so easy. Maybe you're not going to get out of this right away. And if not, we're going to ask for a bond of $950,000. Oh, yeah, you fuck around, you plot publicly saying that you're going to try to burden the plaintiff financially, that you're going to cause them all of these issues. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's going to work out for you just fine. Oh, my God. Again, if you had these plots, why plot openly? Hey, Linda, thanks for the boarding there. More medicals, but thank you again, Linda. I appreciate that for sure. Like I said, I am now in a waiting pattern, but I feel a lot better after talking to that Vanderbilt doctor. You know, there's a big difference in brain fog and what they had me scared of. You know, Christine, thanks for the 2 there. For my fellow Tennessean, that's right. Ooh, yes, for Tennessee, because it's the only 10 I see. That's the worst pickup line I've ever heard. Well, maybe not the worst, but it's one of the worst, by the way. I heard somebody try to use that. It's funny, but thank you. Jamar, thanks for that. 15 months. Oh, 70th birthday. Oh, my God. I have got to get out the song, by the way. Give me a second. Here we go.
Happy birthday from both of us to you. Happy birthday.
The little one
May
is
all
raise
your dreams come true.
Happy
We love to have you here. Happy birthday. Here's to another year.
You like that? Can you sing happy birthday?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday
birthday.
to you. Happy birthday.
It's their 70th birthday. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. Happy birthday.
That's great. Yeah, I think that's great there. All right. Hey, you got to go up there. Let me finish these up, baby. Okay. If you want to do anything, you know,
I want to listen to that song one more time.
I'll let you listen afterwards. Okay. I'll let you listen for sure afterwards. She's never heard the birthday song. Well,
Woo!
yeah, I know. Well, if you wanna be able to watch the fireworks, I gotta finish up. Okay.
And when we're to go outside, I hope I don't. One doesn't come on your yard and doesn't go on me.
You heard her. She's like, "Whoa!" The big loud ones. They got about 45 minutes before they really get primed up. That's when we'll go and watch them. John, thanks for the judge hasn't done anything yet. Definitely hasn't forgotten anything. That's true. You know, nothing's come up yet. It's amazing. Again, it's like they're determined to burn the good faith, you know, and it's nuts. Kelly B, thanks for the 10 there. I went through bankruptcy, Florida, 2001. It's a mess. Had everything on appraised all the way down to the socks about courts, and was allowed to keep $1,500 only. My house was separate also. Yes, indeed. It is not a fun process. These folks think that having the government come in and examine everything you do, put your life under a microscope. And again, they brought in a guy. This guy knows everything about stuff that's going on. It's the worst process. Why would you do this? Oh man, it's so nuts there. What a name. Lynette Mupston. That's hilarious. Thanks for the fun. How fast do bankruptcies move through the system? Will it be finalized in time to be used in Fed 1? Well, they're looking for it to, you know, it causes a stay action while things are ran through. So right now, what they're trying to do with it, like Jeremy said, they wrote Randy and we're like, you know, everything's frozen. You can't do anything right now. It may indeed freeze proceedings, depending on the judge. Again, that judge may not be happy about it. If it does, we'll see what happens and how the judge reacts to this stuff. But what we'll also see is Randy file this with fraud upon the court, because what they did with this is they did it with every intention of delaying process. They talked about that extensively. Like, that's the craziest shit. They get online and they talk about it extensively. This is not to erase debt. This is to delay court. That in and of itself is a problem. So how long? We'll see what happens. I mean, this is a weird circumstance, but best case scenario, you delay a few months. That's best case. Oh, Lord. Frankie, thanks for the file there. Can the transcript from bankruptcy be used in the Fed case? If there is something involved in there, yes, it could indeed be utilized. If there is something that comes up. And there's another thing. So in Fed, this is what I was wondering too. I got thinking about it. If Jeremy's allowed to talk about the money that 2L1 is holding, all that money made as an anti-Hales, how do you not say there's some kind of conspiracy? Because again, he's definitely going to bring that shit up so they may bring stuff in they don't want to. Well, we'll see. If it has relevance, yes. Anything, you have to argue whether or not something has relevance. But if it does, you can usually get it in. Yeah. Especially in this case, these idiots have brought up so many things in different cases, and when they talk publicly before, that they give things relevance. Rusty Ray hits things for five. She identified the puppy as a service dog. Since service animals have value. Oh, shit, I didn't think about that. Yeah, she talked about the service dog that's worth thousands, too. Holy crap. I didn't think about that. That is a piece of property, and it's brand new. How much money did they spend on that thing? That's crazy. I mean, again, everything that you own is given a value. It's wild when you go through bank. I've been there, been there. AKA the cat lady things too. Yes, bankruptcy trustees don't play. They don't, man. They want their monies. That's true. Ginger, thanks for the 5 there. Must drive them all bananas that a group of them cannot outsmart. Yeah, well, or Randy. Like, they got this they think brain trust is anything but. And Randy, I mean, he has run circles around them. But you would think a requisite would be read the filings. Like you had Bruce be like, well, I'm not reading this stuff. So he's not reading filings. He's told you that. He told us that the other night. You had 2L be like, I'm not reading filings. Like, the only person that seems to be reading anything right now is Lips. And some of the Lips ideas that come up are just wackadoodle, in my opinion. Like, just totally out there bullshit. Maybe that's why you got a 1-star fucking from your clientele. Maybe. Yeah. But, oh man. I mean, these people don't even go with the basics. Orange, thanks for the 5 there. LP got a car under special needs trust from SSDI. Your taxpayer money hard at work. Oh yeah. Isn't that how it usually is though, honestly? Don't you feel like that a lot of times? The people that really need don't get. They struggle. They're down in the dirt. They got kicked over and over again. And people that just do terrible things, they end up getting it feels like every hand up they can. It's wild, isn't it? Jack's mom, by the way, I hope you enjoyed the Patricia thing. Did you like that? That was fun. She did. I forgot about it. I meant to show it to her, and it got crazy, so I forgot about it. I'm glad you mentioned it again. By the way, thank you, Best Friends for Life. Thank you, Cher. These are ones I hit while the kids were there, but I'm still sure. By the way, Miss Tresloot, I saw that. I did not mention it there for the roach. That was funny, though. It did make me laugh. But Rachel, they saw... I can't remember if they said thank you, Rachel, but thank you to Rachel. Much appreciated. Yeah, they're cute. They're funny, So I love to have them around and stuff. Andre, again, thank you, bud. Emma, they did really like the look of that Brazilian jeweled tarantula. God, they liked that way too much. Mary, thank you as well. Sister Sal, thank you too. Jack's mom. I'll look for that. I want to see like the avatar that she was talking about there. That was funny too. Best friends for life. You just saw her face for that. She was like, ah. Momo, well, thanks for the 2 months there. Someone should compare this invoice to the bankruptcy invoice. Yeah, it looks like they are. So somebody did put that again. Somebody did put those two together. You have the invoice and the address that is on there. It does look like, again, it proves that it's from the beginning. So you see here's the invoice. In fact, you know what? Let me drop this in the chat. Now, excuse me, the way I have to drop this, I'm dropping it in StreamYards because of the way I have it pulled up. This will drop into that member group. I don't know if everybody can access the member group or if you have to be part of it. I'm not sure. But this, again, when you look at the address and everything and you start comparing, it does indeed look like we are talking about one and the same. Now, why is that important, you might ask? Well, because, again, that blows the idea out of the water that they were planning anything but this from go. So, when they can't say that something fell through and this is an alternate way. Again, if anything, if I were in the ecosystem, I'd be pissed off because my money, they lied to me about where it was going. So you're right, though. That comparison, somebody did think about it. Greg, thanks for the oh yeah, I saw that. Thank you, Craig, by the way. I did mention that one. I like that. Joan, thank you too. Much appreciated there. Also, Terry mentioned I was lost. I didn't know the fleas were on Brumble. Yeah, I don't think you can mention. I think you did that intentionally because that is a competitor. Maybe you put the B there. I didn't think about that. I have a lot of catching up to do. Yeah, they're over there. Like I said, they got hit for something. So I don't remember what it was, but they got hit. A bunch of their channels got hit all at once. And of course they blame Jeremy. I don't know. Maybe he did flag, maybe he didn't. I have no idea what pulled those in there. But what I do know is they've been over on Rumble. And the stuff they've been saying, anytime they think they have a great idea, they say way too much. And they've been doing that lately. Again, they just, every time I think they're going to become less vocal, make better decisions. No, it never happens. Mary, also, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, the raids are, they're cute. I love it. The small, I like that shit. Thanks for that. The smallest mafia is smoking indeed. They are so funny. Oh, that's funny. Green veggie beast. I'll have to tell her, name it Crumb Crunches Splat. She'll be like, no. Michael Phillips, thanks for the 10 there. There's not a statement, but that is its statement, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Just Jacobs, thanks for the vibe. Hey, happy 4th Tuck and chat. Love all you people. Hey, love to you too, brother. For sure. Appreciate you, man. Kelly, thanks for the 9 months there. Melissa pointed out, the paperwork thing. Yeah, I brought that up there. I'm glad you mentioned that because I didn't see it at first. That is funny. Mavia, thanks for the fun. I'm tell I'll beat you with a hammer. Also, tell coloring books. Yeah. That's funny. Oh, you want to hear something funny? So today, I thought I would try out compression socks, right? This is the wonderful joy of getting older. But with blood flow and everything, with part of this, one of the reasons they said I get lightheaded is because when you stand, blood flows downward. So compression socks, other stuff will help. I had to look up how to put those damn things on. I started putting them on. I was like, oh my God, this can't be right. Like a regular sock. I thought, I'm as old as I am. And today I was X years old when I had to look up how to put on socks. What a thing. I never thought I would ever have to do that. But here we are. Willie, thanks to the 20 there. Candy's Dash Fun. Well, thank you, Willie. I'll have to tell you. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Jack's mom, thanks for the gifted membership. Thank you, Jack's mom. You're much appreciated too. I love that. that freaking picture. Just Jay, it's like, oh no, Tug never gives me hugs and tickles. Well, you should have put it in our contract, you know, for you to be for part of the law firm. You know, you should have said like $19.99 plus weekly hugs and tickles. God, it's a shame you didn't do that. Miss Tresloon, thanks for the 5 there. Garden hose to keep the neighbors in your heart on fire. Indeed. It rained today, thankfully. So I did watch neighbors one time catch a tree on fire. So that has happened. That's never happened to mine, thankfully. So Art, thanks for the 3 there. My kids wore oven. Hey, that actually is a good idea, to be honest, to wear oven mitts, oven gloves. That's a good idea. Like that. I have to mention that to the littlest. Maybe she'd want to try that. You know, actually, she's on the I'm going to do it all. So we'll see. But if she has any reservation or you know concern about it, that would be a way to address that. That's a good idea. Like that. Thank you. The Floofy Cat. Thanks for the 2. Candy for the books and the love. Thank you, the Floofy Cat. I love it. Like I said, the kids love that too. Yeah. Michael, thanks for the 50 there. Thank you there. Okay. Trying for the lug since she was singing Ramon. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Old punk rocker, loving new generation. Keep the treasure safe. Thank you, man. Yeah. She loves the Ramones. You got Pet Cemetery. You know, that was the song that first introduced her there. You know, all the horror movie stuff you'll hear. And then she likes a lot of like old school, old punk music. And she likes, she likes a lot of stuff. Again, you know, your kids are reflections of you. So she listens to a lot of stuff I'll listen to. But she ran across that with Pet Cemetery. I love that song, by the way. She just kept going with it. But thank you, man. Appreciate that, Brian. Also, Jack's mom, thanks for the 10 there. If only me confirmed by audit last month or so that the money he's into LP was still being held by Fleece. Yeah, can't really ask for Fleece financials to see if they're hiding more. But you would, I mean, again, yeah, when you get to a certain, you have to get discovery for that point. But with see, that's going to be the problem with bankruptcy. If an audit supposedly happened to confirm that there was money, you see how they might have a little problem there, because that would be hiding assets. If somebody's holding $56,000 and you're like, yo, I'm indigent, I don't have anything. But they're saying publicly they're setting on that money. Why would they be setting on that money? Why indeed? Huh? And they can say, oh, well, it wasn't a donation. No. Like, unfortunately for them arguing all of this publicly, they brought up so much discussion about those finances, and LP confirmed that finances were for her. That's the beautiful thing. She confirmed it. So, bravo. Emma, thanks for the 5. That was an adult 10. They're small. Babies are adorable as well. I think I need to get 2. One for oh, that's cute. They are. I like those. I thought that was very cute. So I mean, she definitely. That Angela, thanks for the 5 there. What about bringing all the attention to the child's living condition? Oh, yeah, man. Well, I think they definitely need to go that way for sure. Yeah, I think that let me start over. I think that is something that definitely needs to be addressed, and it hasn't been in a court. But I think that this possibly highlights all of that too, and it highlights need for sure, big time. You know. What's up, kiddo?
What
you doing? Come here. I'm almost done. Watch out. Don't step on that. Don't step on the
step on that. Just step on the cover.
Whoa, man. By the way, you know what?
$4.
Look, you had the Floofy Cat. Gave you $2. Yeah, Floopy
Thanks
Cat.
for Fluffy Cat. I know we get about that name too much.
I don't know. You love that name, says she does. Shazzy's art gave you money too. You said thank you.
Thank you, Fluffy Cat. Thank you, Fluffy Cat. Thank you, Fluffy Cat.
What about Shaz's art? You want to say thank you too? And you have trouble with the name. I'm probably mispronouncing your name too. I apologize. You had Willie.
It's either way, Louis.
Hey, Willie sent candy money. Can you say thanks, Willie?
Thank you, Willie.
Well, Willie sent that. Let's see.
That's a tiny one right there.
Green Veggie Beast sent money. Can you say thank you, Green Veggie Beast?
Thank you, Green Beast. You
I know it's difficult there. Can you say thank you to Mary?
You know I eat squash.
Yeah, I know you eat squash. You loved it too, didn't you? Can you say thank you, Mary?
Thank you, Mary.
Can you say thank you to Craig?
Did you see that phone was glitching out when I said thank
Yeah,
you,
well,
Mary?
that's not glitching. It's the microphone picking it up. See, like if I stop saying anything, see it went away. She's watching the little circle make sound. Yeah. Hey, well, let's not do that right now, though. Okay, we'll play with it later. You've done that before. You know, you've done that before. All right, kiddo. Hey, I am almost done. So,
almost done.
So yeah, well, if you let me finish, we will be. I told you, I'm aiming for
Everyone,
11. We'll be done early.
And I can't wait to get fireworks.
I know. You want fireworks.
I've been waiting for you.
I know.
What is that one with a 9? What's that one with the 9 over there? Looks like a spider.
Which one? What?
It's the one. Look inside.
Oh, the spider from Nana. Yeah, that's cool, huh?
Why have a 9?
You want to say thank you to Nana?
Thank you, Nana.
Yeah, we'll pull that up in a minute. I'll pull that up. But you say thank you, Nana. You can see. She can see this super. She can't read what's on there, but. Yeah, Gary. You want to say thank you to Gary? Gary says, with all that money for your candy fund, you're going to need dentist fund. You got to brush those teeth. That's what he's saying. You like to brush your teeth, don't you?
Yeah, I brush them when Gigi's here or at Gigi's house.
We brush them at night too, as well. Yeah.
Yeah, when we fireworks, we have to buy more for the night because we like fireworks. Yeah. I only put my hand with a circle, but I didn't give up. Like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey,
I was almost gonna give up, but I didn't.
Yeah. All right. We'll go upstairs, baby.
What is that?
Yeah.
But we're so I don't fall.
All right. Well, be careful. Don't fall. Hey, when you're doing that, hey, watch where you're walking. Don't do that and fall down. Okay. If you want to do fireworks today, let me finish up. If we're going to live stream forever, then we won't be able to go outside.
Everyone, have a good day.
I see. That's it. I love you. She's like, oh, gotta go. Sorry about your luck. Oh, it's so funny. Human. Thanks for the 5. I sent you a funny on Bookface. I'll have to see what that is on Bookface on Facebook. That's funny. Bookface. Nana, thank you. That's big there. Thank you. You should do like I did. Volunteer to keep class pets for the summer. That way you can see if you want to buy them for your kids or not. We had everything except tarantulas. No tarantulas. You know, we do have tarantulas. We have a bunch. So we had a problem. So check this out, Nana. We had over 20. And unfortunately, we had a heater that was outside that while we were gone, you know, we had to go on a trip. It was, I don't think I talked about this at all. Let's just say we had to deal with a passing of somebody. I guess that's the best way to put it. And we were gone for about a week, but I did live streams while not here. I've live streamed no matter what, you know, I take it with me, and I didn't mention me away or anything. Well, when that crashed out, when we got back, it ended up harming about 9 of them. Now, all of them are rescues anyway, but I gave 3 to someone else because they had to, like, I felt like it hurt them, and they ended up like rehabbing them and did a good job. But the cold actually ended up, unfortunately, killing 2 of them, or maybe 3. It was awful. I was like, man, this sucks. So 3 of them I gave to somebody that could take better care of them. because they have a setup that never have any kind of problem like that. But 3 of them have unfortunately caused issues with. I still have about 11 or 12 that I have on my own. You know, I had more, but with everything that's going on, it's harder for me to take care of. They're easy animals to take care of, mind you, but still, with everything, I've still got about 11 tarantulas. I have different ones. I like them. I like to watch them. They're so easy to take care of. I like insects because insects are so simple to care for. But that's a great idea, though. Taken for class pet. The only thing I would be afraid of with that is that, like with an insect, you know, some of their lifespans are not very good. So if they pass, then how do you address that? But like with regular animals, I mean, that's a great idea, though. I guess with an insect, the one good thing would be if something did happen, it's easily replaceable too, or at least some of them. Now, some of the tarantulas are crazy as far as cost. You know, they get into insanely high costs. So as long as it wasn't one of them. But yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'll have to check out about that. Gary, appreciate you, by the way. Green Veggie Beast, thanks for I did some quick research. I think they think that they can get the current cost dismissed by filing. Yeah, they think, but what cost are they dismissing? Like what exactly are they aiming at? The few $1,000s? Like, tell me again, what do they think they're getting dismissed? You have free filings already, so filing costs they're pretty much knocked out. They're not going to, again, they're going to pause, stay the case. They're not going to dismiss the case. So you're talking about an exorbitant amount of money that's still potentially on the horizon. And even with that, you have other cases that are potentially there too. There is no judgment in those cases. So what exactly do they think they're dismissing at this time? The few $1,000 that they have that Hales has for attorney fees against them. This is not what I understand. Like, that's nuts. I mean, again, they're looking down the barrel of potentially millions of dollars. And this is the option that they decided to go with now. Again, they're not going to kick the case to the curb. Even the cost, I would say that the cost that they picked up from the protective order, they're not going to be able to kick either. Because again, they have screwed up big. I mean, very big. So I don't see how. Whoa, Mary, what? 10,000 for a cobalt blue? Well, I guess that depends on the cobalt blue. I've got a cobalt blue that's not like that expensive. There's a couple of maybe it's the type of cobalt blue, because I have like a regular cobalt blue spider that was like when we picked it up, I got it from a PetSmart. You know, PetSmart, they take terrible care of their animals, and the way they had it, it was almost dead. I offered them, they were going to throw it in the trash, and I offered them $20, and they wouldn't take it. They were going to throw it in the trash anyway. So they were going to kill it instead of selling it to me. That they had decided that, I guess, it had no value. But I talked a person into selling it to me anyway for $20. I talked to a person after it was, they were going to dispose, but they threw it in the trash. They were going to just kill it. So, but they take terrible care of their animals. So I ended up with one from them. And I think they had it for $200 at the time. But like I said, I spent $20 on it because they were I mean, it looked awful. It did. I was like, man, there's no way. But I mean, they were throwing live animals in the garbage. You know, there's a cruelty to that. You know, whether you like or dislike a spider or whatever, there's just a terrible cruelty to people working at pet stores throwing live animals in the garbage. So I ended up, like I said, picking it up that way. But it's about $200. Now there's rarefied versions. So you probably sell some rarefied version, and there's some crazy expensive ones. You know, get into. Some of these channels that come up, the exotic ones are really hard to take care of. Some of those, the more like jungle oriented, unless you like, I don't like really heavy temperature, like hot temperatures. So, I have to run heat all the time, and that's a rough way to go too. See, Aussie Roo, thanks for the Aussie Roo, thanks for the 5 there for Bug and Lug. Thank you for that too. That is much appreciated. Let me see something here. By the way, check something real quick. Wait a minute. Trying to see. Just Jay. Is Jay Hip running tonight? I didn't know if he has tomorrow. He has a live stream set up for tomorrow. I just noticed it. So Jay Hib's been really funny to watch. If you have not been catching his shows lately, they've been real fun to keep up with. And tomorrow he's got one set up that says that, look at this. This is really funny. Check this out. 1 second here. This looks really fun. He said that it's a battle of good versus evil. Let me clear the record. This is where I destroy the lips. Serve me. I am waiting to countersue. I will come for everything. Indeed, I believe that true. I'm sure they said something crazy, but spiritual warfare. Actually, they've said this stuff before. Again, and people go out back, enjoy the show. They've been funny, but you gotta, when you're looking at this stuff, like they've gone to the point of calling people again, like Ray, it calls people the Antichrist. Are you kidding me? Like channels out there that are discussing this. We aren't bad according to them. We are the ultimate evil. And the reason they do that, by the way, is it allows for the worst behavior ever. If somebody's the devil, then you can do anything you want to them. 1 second here. All right. Well, I am going to end here. I appreciate y'all. I'm not sure who's live, but I keep getting raiders. They're about to come again. So apologies if there's no redirect, but I appreciate you folks. We will definitely stream tomorrow. There's a lot to catch up with. I'll see you. Thank you.